You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Welcome in on a decent day here. A little windy, rainy though in Augusta.
Yeah.
Masters Golf has been postponed, I think, delayed.
Weather delay, I believe.
Weather delay. Do we know for how long?
We don't.
Okay.
But you know that rain, it stays.
The rain stays. You can't really put a tarp over it, can you? I mean, you kind of have to abide by the rules of the weather when you're at Augusta.
Could you imagine the tarp that goes over a golf course?
Couldn't imagine. No. Way too much time, effort, and energy.
You'd have to make that in parts.
So, like, how is it? Is this gonna? Because then now the sun becomes a factor too, and the sun goes down. I assume, right?
Yeah.
So then they're just gonna delay everything a little longer.
Yeah, they just back everything up.
All right, Austen Lane here, and Kasey Kuhrts holding down the fort where the leader Brent is in Augusta, probably getting rained on right now in a parking lot. And
Likely.
People were wondering a little bit, how come Brent can't go live from Augusta?
Oh, that's just the rules.
And then the rules are very clear.
Yeah.
You can't. Can you actually record stuff?
You can record.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the past, he's recorded on property, but you can't go live to do any of that.
Yeah.
You have to go outside the gates, I think. It's kind of an interesting rule, but
Okay.
yeah.
Can you do there's press conferences though, so obviously you can get that audio and video or not? Or is it not press conferences?
No, there is. There
Okay.
is. I don't know if you can take them live. That'd be
Okay.
But Golf Channel takes them live.
Okay.
But Brent ain't taking them live.
Yeah. Well, this might be the day of press conferences here on our show. Josh Allen met with the media and everything after that $150 million was it? Dollar contract. John Calipari gets coaxed and
What a disaster,
wined and dined in the great state of Arkansas. We have some thoughts about that. But before we get into sports, and don't get it twisted here, Kasey, yeah, it's a sports show. And I talk a lot of sports. That's our job here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream.
That's fair.
It's also my therapy.
Okay.
And sometimes I bring things to the table that are not sports related, but I need clarification on, I need support about, because sometimes things just don't sit with me. And this one involves my son. And he's not listening. He's at school right now.
That's good.
So
Good start.
Great start. When we talk about our morning routine, we're all creatures of habit, right?
Sure.
So I'm a very big proponent of, I don't just give him a Pop-Tart for breakfast or a donut. I actually like to make him breakfast. Because I feel like, if you put effort and energy into that, it gives him confidence for the day, and then it starts his morning off right.
It's a good theory.
Big fans of the PB&J. Who isn't?
Sure.
Love me a good PB&J.
Classic.
So being the true cook that I am, I always cut his sandwiches diagonally.
Sure.
Right? Like you would find at a restaurant.
Absolutely.
My son goes to me, can you cut it the other way because it doesn't taste as good and I don't like it? Now, this is a 9-year-old who is a big fan of Happy Meals, favorite food from McDonald's. Okay, he's a kid. Favorite drink is Prime, much like Kasey Kuhrts here.
Oh, my God.
Palate of a child, if you will.
Drink Prime. Not now.
Do you guys cut sandwiches horizontally or diagonally? Because my thought is I cut mine diagonally because it looks classier.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? It's aesthetically, it's more pleasing. And by the way, tastes the same. But if I'm going to make somebody a sandwich and I'm going to present it to them, I'm going diagonally all day, Kasey.
Yeah, it's a good call. I think every sandwich I've ever had prepared by my mom has been cut in a perfect diagonal.
Yeah.
But since becoming...
Do you know why? Because she loves you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, she's putting the effort in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, since becoming an adult, I don't think I've cut a sandwich. Period. We're just straight up going or I'm ripping it.
Same.
One of the two. Who's got time to cut? I've never made the sandwich.
You guys aren't cutting sandwiches anymore?
Nope.
Who's got time to cut the sandwich?
It takes all of 10 seconds?
I gotta get the knife out. But then I gotta wash the knife. You know what I mean?
Case-
You already got to use the knife
for
the jelly and the peanut butter. So
Well, no, because I don't
First
want
of
the
all-
peanut butter on the outside of the bread now.
First
Use the
of
same
all,
knife.
Get a sharper knife, I guess. I mean, you guys using a butter knife or what? Number one.
Yes.
First of all, so you guys just take a whole sandwich, just eat it. I mean, you don't sit down, you don't cut it, have some chips on the side. We're just cavemen.
Again, back to yesterday, still fat, so chips on the side for sure. But I'm not cutting the sandwich. I don't got time. I'm not doing it.
Hamby, the kids' corner. Are the kids? They're not cutting sandwiches at all.
no, we're not cutting sandwiches. We're just ripping it.
Yep.
If you weren't gonna rip it and you had to cut it, would you rather go horizontal or diagonally?
I'm going diagonal. Every
Okay, thank
every
you.
sandwich that has ever been presented to me
Yep.
has been presented diagonally, and I appreciated that.
And one would agree that diagonally is a little more classier.
Absolutely. If I were to give somebody else a sandwich, I cut it diagonal.
If you were to cut your own sandwich, which you don't cut, I understand it.
Diagonal, 100%.
You go diagonal.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm kind of in the right, but then I'm realizing that you guys are still children and don't even cut your sandwiches.
I definitely don't cut my sandwich, no.
Okay. No, Hamby, no, it's no time to go back on this now. You don't cut your sandwich either. You've made that very abundantly clear.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Okay. Well, now that's been taken care of. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I came in here thinking everyone's going to agree with me, and now I'm realizing that I work with a bunch of children. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Speaking of another fantastic thing, the Josh Allen press conference. Were you almost in tears? Did it shake you up a little? No? Not in tears? A little emotional?
Tears.
Okay.
I mean, good stuff, quality stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it reminds you why outside of on the field.
Through this process, man, and because you never know, everything is just different every year. Like, you want to keep doing the same thing at the same time, the same schedule, but you can't because life happens and things changes. So for me, it's like, okay, what do I do next? How do I handle it? How do I do this? Mine was just like, do the same thing, just extend it a couple times, like, so don't stress about anything. Because, I go train in Arizona, and I feel like that process got me to perform at a very high level, that got me mentally, physically ready to compete and to perform. And so for me, I was like, well, I got to get out there, I got to do this, but not knowing what my contract situation was going to be like. So my wife was really just like, Josh, take care of your body, trust the process, and just stay to grind. And when the time comes, the time will come when you need to go out there. So for me, it was just having the right mental headspace and staying focused and staying committed to what I do best and, staying in shape.
Do you think that Josh Allen could use that signing bonus that he just got, that upfront money, and fly the entire team to Arizona? Because whatever he's doing in Arizona,
It's working.
is paying dividends.
At least take like the defensive front.
And I like to see more players follow him out to Arizona.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Listen, Josh Allen echoing what I always say, we're all creatures of habit in terms of the NFL. And I think we saw this early on in Josh Allen's career in terms of he seemed to be ahead of the curve in being a professional. And I mean that by this. I remember like when I got to the league, now smaller school is one thing. He comes to the SEC, it's a little different. But when I got to the league, and a lot of guys I think go through this, it's like you're kind of the big man on campus in college.
Sure.
Right? So you kind of have a little bit more of I don't want to say a cockiness about you, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I belong here.
Yeah.
I can do this. Yeah, I'm him. And you have to have that.
Sure.
You have to have that ego a little bit. And then we got a guy by the name of Aaron Campman, my first year, who you may or may not know, Green Bay Packer, played here a couple years, had a lot of injuries, but was the constant professional. Knew what it took to make it to the NFL and knew what it took to stay in the NFL. And one of the biggest things he talked about was that routine, was taking care of your body, was doing all the little things that you may not see in a weight room, like, for instance, foam rolling, ice tub, all those things. And I'll be honest, a 22-year-old Austen Lane, 23-year-old Austen Lane, I'm not getting an ice tub extra long. Like 20-minute ice tub? Nah, I'm good. I feel great, man. Like, practice, come on. Foam rolling? Nah, man, my T-bands are tight enough. I don't want to roll those out every single day and go through that pain. And the older that I got in my career and the more that I realized, I was like, man, I should have listened to Aaron Campman more, because by the time I was in my fifth year in Chicago, I was like, I could use some of that ice tub right now. I could use some of that foam rolling right now. And it goes to show you that sometimes you have to gravitate yourself towards the leaders of the team, so towards like the veterans of the team. But I feel like Josh Allen, for whatever reason, came in day one and had that mentality already.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good call, and I think it's kind of crazy, in my opinion, that Josh Allen is the professional that he is, because think about the situation he walked into. Mm-hmm. Like, you haven't had a lot of those guys in a while in Jacksonville that you can watch and kind of observe and figure out how to be a pro. Calais Campbell was one of those guys, but like, who else have they really had? It's been tough around here. Mm-hmm. Marvin Jones, maybe, different side of the ball. I get it. But like, you just haven't had those guys. So now you've got Josh, who just, I guess, had that trait, has figured that trait out, has developed that leadership, professional, I guess, trait. Mm-hmm. And now you've got all of your young guys can watch it. You bring in an Eric Armstead, who one would believe probably has a lot of those.
Oh, he's got traits. A lot of that for sure, you would think.
So, I mean, again, there's so much of it that's on the field that matters here, but I think the off the field stuff is mattering just as much, maybe a little less, but just as much to this deal, why it was the number that it was. And my favorite part about that soundbite and the whole press conference for sure was that Josh just got $88 million guaranteed, and we're both wearing black T-shirts. I got mine at Kohl's. I don't know where he got his, but like, you gotta love it. He just showed up in the black tees, like, this is what I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying?
No, all of a sudden, hey, I'll be honest. If Josh Allen came in rocking like a brand new Gucci or Armani suit, with the shades and everything, with a Jalen Ramsey Brinks truck, yeah, I would have been a little nervous about it.
Yeah.
Right? Because now it's like, are we going to get 17.5 sacks this upcoming season, or we just go to the, we go to the bank now?
Bro's like, I just got out of Kohl's with this shirt, so I might as well put it on. Love it.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing, and we echoed this a little bit yesterday with Josh Allen, where I think some players get that money, and maybe the work ethic dwindles a little bit, maybe their purpose, their goals, they decline a little bit. I don't think Josh Allen's one of those people. I think Josh Allen, in terms of, seems like a pretty even-keeled guy, and maybe you know more than I do. I mean, I talked to him a couple times. He's been on the show a couple times in the past. You've been in the locker room. You've seen him. You've talked to him. I think it's really telling, though, the fact that he seems to be the same guy day one when he got here up until this point.
I'd agree with that.
Now, yeah, sometimes there's room for growth. Like, heck, I grew a lot my first couple years in the NFL. I learned how to do things a little better and, how to carry myself a little better. And, yeah, I mean, there's always room for growth. But I'm just saying, from a leadership standpoint, I think from a way that he carries himself, it's been one of the most consistent things that I've seen on this team. And you don't need Josh Allen to be that rah, in-your-face guy, because I feel like sometimes in the NFL locker rooms, Kasey, you get those guys, but it's not genuine. And when it's not genuine, it's almost like, hey, man,
what are we doing?
What are you doing? And I spoke on this before a little bit on the show. There's all types of leaders. You have your vocal leaders. You have more of like your quiet leaders that do it the right way. You have your leaders who are just leaders because, well, they're hell of a football player. There's all types of leader. There's all types of people that make up an NFL locker room. And I see Josh Allen, like, I don't necessarily see Josh Allen leading every single huddle, giving that pregame speech in the locker room, getting guys fired up. But he doesn't have to do it because, once again, I think his play, number one, speaks for itself. But number two, how he carries himself also helps out that leadership quality.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just the type of guy that you gravitate towards, right? And you talk about last year. Like last year, obviously the big sack number, I get it. But it's well documented. He talked about it just in the sound. You just heard, like, going to Arizona, the way that he trained, the way that he prepared. Brent told a story last year about how he saw Josh in the elevator, and he said he had read the same book 3 or 4 times about, like, the mind of an athlete. So, like, he was just in a different spot. Yeah. And to your point, it never felt like it was the loud, like, do this, do that. It was like, I'm going to do this, and when you see me do this correctly, then you should follow me type deal. And it feels like the Jags, in my opinion, have Foye, I think, is a lot like that as well. I think they have a lot of those guys that kind of lead by example versus lead by screaming and yelling, for lack of a better term. Yeah. Like Arden Key was I don't know if you want to call him a leader, but when he was here, he was loud.
No, for sure.
It was real, but it also it mattered. It helped. It was a thing.
And much too, I mean, I get Arden Key basically started the city of Jacksonville, he would tell you. You know, I mean, he was a big
he built the city.
He basically built the city, key to the city for Arden Key, everything like that. But I think there's something to be said, though, too, Kasey, for those vocal guys. I think every team needs some of those vocal guys. Now, you need those guys to keep it within reason, or else they become distractions, I feel like. Then it's like, well, dude, what are you doing? But if you have the combination of talent and can be a vocal leader, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, like, on the teams that I played with, like, we had Puzz. We had Daryl Smith.
Right.
Great leaders, not necessarily the most vocal guys, more, quiet. But guess what? Sometimes those guys are the scariest because they always say when you go to the bar, never mess with a quiet guy. It's always the vocal guy that you're not have to be worried about. Hamby, make sure you take notes on that. I know you're still young in the kids' corner, but if you find yourself in a bar
Okay.
Don't go after the quiet guy.
You won't find me in too many bars, so I don't think I got to worry about it.
All right, I got you. I mean, every once in a while, maybe if we're on the road and WrestleMania or something like that, we go out with the boys a little bit.
All right, I would do that, but then I don't got to really worry about anybody because I'd be with you. So.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, is that a compliment or should I take
fair.
that? That's fair.
That's fair.
I mean-
But if someone steps up on us, Austin can't do anything.
I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah, Hamby.
he can't.
Hamby, to be fair,
Nothing.
if we're out and about in a public setting and we're at a bar or something, wherever, and someone tries to step to us, and like if words aren't gonna get the job done,
You're out.
see ya. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need to see something from you. That's all I'm gonna say.
I got you.
Because hey, if you're rolling with me, you gotta defend yourself. Okay?
No problem.
Because these things, I mean, not to brag or anything, but
Weapons.
weapons
That-
registered. Had to go through the whole process. Seriously.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Still wild, huh?
Isn't that kind of stupid? I mean,
Wait, for real?
yeah. So my hands, since I'm a professional fighter,
So wild.
my hands are literally registered weapons.
That's sick.
Yeah, I mean it's something.
It's something.
I mean, if to be fair, I feel like a giant toolbox when I say that.
Sure.
Completely candid. But no, basically, well, go ahead.
How many times have you said it not in like this setting? Like told people, hey, just so you know.
Like on dates? No.
Just at any point, like
Well, I'm actually carrying right now. No, I've never.
I mean, wild.
I mean, I've said it to my friends, and like I've answered the question before. People have asked me like, "Hey, is it true? Like, if you get to
yeah,
fight,
I got the paperwork.
yeah, essentially, if I get provoked and I punch somebody, I'm going to jail. It's
What if
simple
they
as that.
swing first?
Well, then it comes down to the whole thing of self-defense, and
Right.
like the court has to decide that. But once again, I would rather not be in that situation, Hamby.
Of
Good
course.
call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Now, Jacksonville Jaguars, Austin would have, swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
But those days are long gone, man. I'm a little more chill. And it sounds like Hamby, I mean, maybe you are an old soul. You don't do the whole bar scene. You're not going out partying.
Nah, not for me.
Not for you. You got too much responsibilities.
Well, I mean, I just prefer to stay home.
Well, first of all, you're not at home because usually at work at 4
don't you
o'clock
work in
in
the middle of the
morning.
night?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't try to sound like okay. So this is my issue with the kids' corner right now.
Oh, boy.
You're trying to make it sound like I'd rather be at home. And
I would.
no, dude, you're working though. Like you don't have the choice. If you had the choice, who knows? Maybe pounding some vodka Red Bulls, having a good time.
No, I mean, we can go back to my college days, and I didn't really do it then either. I did not work overnight.
Well, you went to UCF, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, UCF. Despite what the stories say, I was not impressed with that whole party atmosphere.
Not impressed.
No, college game day, UCF, Cincinnati.
Okay.
I was there. This is, probably 8-9 years ago now. I'm like, all right, my first college game day. Obviously, it's a good time. Lee Corso in his prime still, Pat McAfee wasn't there yet. I'm like,
Right.
Let's do this. I made a sign and everything. Me and my friend who went to UCF, so had an in,
Sure.
we're there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's just terrible.
Wanted to get right in the front. Now, had to go to the bathroom. Kind of screwed myself over a little bit because when I walked to the back, couldn't get back up to the front. So that was on me.
Yeah.
So I got about like 30 minutes of screen time in the front row, and then I was gone. Nevertheless, we pull up, and obviously we're of drinking age, and we have backpacks full of beers and stuff because it's college game day. We think, all right, college football game, it's going to be a good time. We pull up with our backpacks, and the first student that sees us goes, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "College game day, having a beer." "You can't have a beer right now." "Why not?" "Well, there's a curfew in place where we can't drink until 12:30. And I go, "Hey, UCF,
That's wild.
the bounce house? All these crazy stories? Steve-O from Jackass went to UCF, I remember hearing stories about.
Yep.
And you mean to tell me that I can't crack open a beer, 10 a.m. on a college game day without getting snitched on?"
What year was this?
This was, I want to say this was like 4 or 5 years. I don't know. It was a while ago, Hamby. It was when UCF was like ranked super high.
Like Blake Bortles, UCF?
No, it's after Blake Bortles, and then they played Cincinnati in the bounce house as they called it.
Yep.
And
Like
I
Mackenzie Milton, UCF.
that probably it. I remember Maury was the guest. By the way, I've never heard so many boos in my entire life. They had Maury.
Maury,
Was
that
like the
guy?
special guest. Like you had
Why?
Shaquille Griffin,
Yeah.
Oh, that was 2018.
2018.
Okay, I got there in 19. I don't know nothing about that rule,
Good, because you probably would have snitched on me too as well.
bro.
What a terrible guess, though, huh? Orlando?
The word, not even from Orlando, I feel like. And like, his whole shtick was, well, all right, and I have the results, and the UCF Knights are going to win.
That's
and
just
dude, it was Bush League at
is
best,
bad.
man. It was you hated to see it.
That's not good.
Hamby, so you weren't there for that one?
No, I got there in 19.
All right, got you. Well, anything quick else on the Josh Allen front? I mean, I think we all established, dude got his money, dude earned his money. We talked about this a little bit in terms of there's going to be pressure now.
Definitely.
To produce, right? You're the second highest paid edge rusher in the NFL. You got to produce. What were the numbers that we established where we're going to be happy? Like 12.5? Is that what we're at?
I said 12 is a minimum.
Okay. Hamby?
I need 60 sacks over the first 4 years.
60 sacks over the first 4 years. So that's going to average to what a year? Because I'm 50. Hamby.
And then the fifth year, you do whatever.
So you're saying we need Josh Allen to get 15 sacks a year for you to be happy to pay that contract off?
That means 1 year you can get 13. Next year I need 17.
Hamby, the results are in. Those are pretty high expectations.
Well,
I mean,
he's being paid.
He's the number 2 guy.
but here's the thing though, and I understand all this. Yes, ideally in a perfect world, 15 sacks a season from Josh Allen. Let's go, second highest paid edge rusher, all of that. But then if he's getting 15 sacks a season, I mean, we'd have to assume that Trayvon Walker, because this is all conglomerate here. Like, this is all a bigger picture. Like, if Josh Allen gets 12 sacks a season, that's okay with me as long as Eric Armstead's getting, maybe 8 or 9. As long as Trayvon Walker's getting, 12 or 13. Like, all right, I think this is a legitimate question. And maybe we can make a bet out of this.
I like that.
Who's going to have more sacks next season? Josh Allen or Trayvon Walker?
I still think it's Josh.
You think Josh Allen's got it?
I do.
Okay. Hamby, same thing with you?
Yeah, I'll give him like 2 more.
2 more?
Yeah, because I think Trayvon is in the 12 range.
Yeah.
I can see Josh with a 14.
I think you can argue either way, though.
Well, my argument is this. Trayvon Walker, and I feel like what the PFF numbers say and everything, he was focused on a lot last year in terms of like the double teams and everything. Now, Josh Allen was focused on as well. But then when you bring in Eric Armstead, who's going to command tension in that middle,
right?
What does that do now for Trayvon Walker, opening things up a little bit? And one would assume he hasn't even come close to reaching the ceiling in terms of what he's capable of.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Now, I think the one detriment could be, and these are rumors that are kind of circulating a little bit, is do they move him down to a 3 technique and pass rush? And, I'm like Nichols, I guess you would say, because I don't like that. You know how I feel about this, Kasey. I would rather have a guy that's shown, hey, when I'm rushing the edge, I know what I'm doing, as opposed to saying, all right, well, yeah, you had 10 sacks last year. Let's see what you can do on the inside now.
Yeah, I think, and listen, I was a proponent when they drafted him to put him in the best spot that was comfortable to him. Mm-hmm. They decided to kind of leave him out there and do his thing. And after last year, you can say he's developing in the right direction. So now if you're going to change the whole thing up 2 years in, I'm not sure how you can feel great about that.
You can't feel great about it, but once again, do you trust Ryan Nielsen and his overall blueprint? Because the guy, especially with defensive linemen, has had a lot of success.
Well, I will say that, when they hired Ryan Nielsen, I said right away, I thought...
Great mustache.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was top of mind for sure. I thought they hired him, I said specifically for Trayvon Walker, because I think it's a hire that you can look at Ryan Nielsen and go, that is going to be a direct correlation with getting the best out of Trayvon Walker. That was my first thought of it, because of how he's developed those guys. So to answer your question, yes, I do trust him, but, a lot of moving and doing stuff early in your career when he's developing on the edge.
Well, no, and we've seen time and time again. Now, this is more, I think, related back to when you draft a guy and then you move him in a different spot that he's not accustomed to.
Right.
We've seen how that's worked out a little bit, right? And I think there's terms of ego and saying, just give me the athlete and I can mold them how I want to mold them. It could be a little bit of this where we see, okay, Trayvon Walker, he's got the long arms, he's got the frame, he's got the strength, he's got the style. Let's see what he looks like on the inside. And yeah, a lot of those things would probably look good, and depending how the draft shakes out, where if you do get an edge rusher in the first or second round, well then yeah, you have to get that guy on the field as well. So then maybe Trayvon Walker moves down. My only argument, though, is he's shown everything that he's needed to show us in 2 years at the edge. Like, it wasn't a liability. I wasn't sitting there watching Trayvon Walker on TV saying, man, they should probably move him around a little bit. No, I was saying, wow, the Jacksonville Jaguars finally have 2 legitimate bookends. And not a lot of teams can say that in the NFL. So that's an advantage. So I just caution Ryan Nielsen. I'm not telling him what to do because the guy knows a lot more than I do. And I'm going to trust his process and I'm going to trust his blueprint. But if he does move Trayvon Walker down, I just echo the fact of, well, what has he shown you where you're not confident with him on the edge?
Good call.
And I think that's fair. Hey, when we come back, let's break down some more of that Josh Allen press conference. Don't worry, if you have goosebumps, I'm sure they're going to go away. But I thought it was a great press conference. Once again, showcasing his personality, showcasing his leadership, and showcasing of what he means to the city. And later on, man, we got to talk about John Calipari and that press conference as well.
Bro, so where's the team?
There's some goosebumps, but not maybe the right ones that you're expecting if you're an Arkansas fan.
Nope.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, well, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com or calling 904-902-4999. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
Get outside.
Yeah.
Make friends. Learn life lessons with the First Tee.
Golf is kind of like life in a way.
You can take some stuff you learn on the course and take that and use it in every single day life.
Donate to First Tee's Play Day campaign and everybody wins.
For every $10 you've donated, you're entered to win a free round with a buddy.
At the stadium course, home of the players, with this guy, Len Matisse. Scan the code on your screen or visit actionnewsjax.com to learn more.
It's the fishing tournament everyone wants to get in, and it's time for you to register. More than 650 boats entered last summer in the Daly's Old School Kingfish Shootout presented by Yellowfin. Mark the calendar now, June 8th. This is fun for the entire family, and everyone has a chance to win big. Limited boundaries, no bait buying, no checkout. Cash prizes for the top 25 places, cash prizes for the top 10 lady anglers, and prizes for the top 15 junior anglers. The grand prize, this Yellowfin Bay boat with a 200 horsepower Yamaha and a Ameritrail trailer. The value, over $100,000. It's the Daly's Old School Kingfish Shootout. Early entry until the end of May is open and $250. If you don't catch the big one, don't worry. Just catch any size kingfish and have a chance to win $10,000 with the Nimnicht Lucky Ticket. OldSchoolKingfish.com. Register early until May 31st at OldSchoolKingfish.com.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Welcome back to Brent and Austen, or Austen and Kasey for the day, as Brent's getting rained on right now a little bit in the Masters. What do you think they're doing?
Yeah, I mean, from experience, one of the worst places to be in a rainstorm is a golf course because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So if I had to venture, probably they bought a poncho, probably like a $3 poncho.
There you go.
Trying to save the equipment because I know Brent. He's like, save the equipment. So Brent's probably soaking wet, but the equipment is fine.
The equipment is good. Man, you got to save the equipment.
You got to.
I love it. Do you think that the ponchos there are pretty cheap as well? Like, I mean,
gotta be.
So probably the same price when they opened the. Well, they probably didn't have ponchos back when they first opened Augusta.
That would be a racket, though. Could you imagine, like, everything else is super cheap? They're like, poncho, $8. It's like a Disney World situation.
No, it'd be like poncho, like $30.
Yeah,
well, why not? Hey,
you could.
You're in Augusta. You came to the Masters. You're gonna pay a little bit sometimes.
Poncho is like the #1 markup item of all time. It has to be.
Oh, absolutely. Because you're never gonna plan ahead and bring one.
No.
But then when you need it, you need it.
Like Disney World has to be salivating every time they see like it's gonna. They're like, oh
yeah,
get the ponchos out of the bag.
See, this is actually the last time I had a poncho was Disney.
I'm not shocked.
And dude, I tried to be a gangster with it and had my hoodie, and that was it. And I'm like, I feel foolish because you know, like
the time where you refused to wear the T-shirt.
Yes. Well, yeah, that was another day, but yeah, Kasey didn't realize 1 year for Christmas, the in-laws bought my son Disney passes for the whole family.
Why not?
And with those Disney passes was also a Disney shirt that the family was going to wear as a collective.
Oh, no.
As a team.
You guys have your names on them?
Names weren't on them. Didn't matter. It was a black, and once again, black T-shirt, which you know I'm all about, right?
Absolutely.
So is Josh Allen, so are you. But then it had a giant Mickey Mouse on it. And after the ceremony of opening the gifts, saw at the time my wife in the kitchen. I said, I'm just gonna let you know I'm not wearing this, and I'm not gonna say what I said because language, but I said, hey, I'm not gonna wear this expletive. And she goes, oh, it would mean so much to Ron. I'm like, I don't care what it means. We are a team. Like, I mean, we're a family, yeah, but like, let's be a family. We have to be a team as well and go to Disney. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't need the shirts.
Like, everybody does this at Disney.
We're going to pass 6 different families with the shirts. We don't need to be one.
It makes zero sense to me why people do. I mean, once again, if people get lost, I get it. Find the shirt.
Okay.
But
yeah, there's thousands of people there. You're telling me in the sea of a billion people, you're going to be like, oh yeah, there's my son with the Mickey Mouse shirt.
I'm just saying sometimes the families are wearing neon shirts and everything, so maybe it makes sense.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, hey, 6'6", 250 pounds.
That's fair.
You're going to find me.
And I'm probably going to find you.
You're going to find, yeah. I mean, if I lose my son, okay, he might be a little hard to find, but hey, also, Ronan, if you're lost, just look up, and I'm there.
Yeah. It's a good flex, yeah.
Just look up. Either like you'll see the castle, like the whatever, because you can see it everywhere, or you'll see me.
One of two.
And I'll see you soon. So it'll be all right. So yeah, didn't wear the Disney shirt, but to get back to what you were talking about, Hamby, yep, that same trip, rained, poured, like you wouldn't believe. And I tried to be a tough guy and rock a hoodie, and that wasn't a good idea. So I had to buy a poncho.
Has anyone ever bought a poncho anywhere other than Disney World while it's raining?
That's a good point.
Like
No,
I never really see people rocking like the Great Value ponchos,
No.
like the logo. There's always some sort of Mickey Mouse.
Kirkland brand poncho.
There's some sort of Mickey Mouse on every poncho I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I'm weird, man. I don't do ponchos or umbrellas. Like I just wear the hoodie.
Umbrellas, you're playing dangerous game. Like if it's raining, okay, but like if you have an umbrella in a storm,
oh, I know.
You're playing the
wind can blow it, poke your eye out.
I was more talking about lightning strike, but
oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that too.
Yeah, but I just picture the wind like hitting you in the eye or something.
The wind today, it would absolutely.
Yeah,
I got garbage cans falling over at my house. It's a disaster out there.
That's Jacksonville, man.
I guess.
Welcome to the show. That's Jacksonville.
But yeah, umbrellas no go, poncho no go.
No go.
I'll just get wet.
So you're not a poncho guy either?
Absolutely.
Kids Corner, ponchos, umbrellas?
There's no chance he's ever worn a poncho.
I
bet
think
he
I've
has.
ever worn a poncho.
There you go.
Oh,
and I've
wow.
definitely never owned an umbrella.
Really? So you're just rocking the hoodie?
Hoodie.
I like that, man. See? He's young, but he's got that old soul in him. I appreciate that. And yeah, if they made ponchos, like, you just can't feel cool wearing a poncho.
No.
You know, like, once you wear the poncho,
But you're
it's
dry.
like, yeah, that's cool. But,
yeah.
like, would you rather look a little, like, aesthetically more pleasing and be wet? Or would you rather be, let's call it like it is, a dork and dry?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be wet, but every time I'm looking at other people in ponchos, I'm like, man, they look mad.
It makes
comfy,
sense. Yeah.
all dry and
makes sense. Yeah. Like, inside, they're feeling a lot better than we are on the outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I proved a point, so.
You did prove the point. You did prove the point.
Yeah.
And getting back on track a little bit, the family atmosphere of Disney. Well, Josh Allen, family man. How about that? Oh, how do you like that segue? I'm trying to get to Brent Martineau levels. I still have a ways to go, though. But I think we have another soundbite here from that Josh Allen press conference.
I'm blessed. I'm humbled. Just too many words in my head that's going on that I want to say, but can't really express it, right now. But, when due time, I will, express how I really feel. And because I want to cry because I'm so happy. I remember going back to my college days and figuring out if I want to go back to school or not. And I remember talking to Coach Stoops at the time, and this is the first time I heard generational wealth, and not knowing what that word meant, not knowing the value of it, to knowing that I just had my son. I want to be with my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, for the rest of our lives, and just knowing what that really meant. And I took a bet on myself, gamble on myself, and it paid out. Became a first-round draft pick, 7th overall. Fortunate to come here, and then seeing the things through, and not knowing that it's not the first contract, it's the second contract, and knowing that I reached that point, and I maximized on being patient, staying humble, staying on the grind, and staying dedicated to what I do. And so, yeah, I'm very emotional right now, but the job's not done yet. And that's why I want to tell the fan base, like, I'm extremely blessed and honored to get this paycheck or to get these checks, but I have to. I still set goals for myself. I was Defensive Player of the Year is my next goal. Winning a Super Bowl, being the MVP of it. I told you I'm a legacy guy. I know I'm rambling. I'm a ramble. I'm a legacy guy, and like I told myself a long time. And when I look back at my legacy, I look at my family. My sister has won a professional championship, so she's up on me. I think about this all the time. I know I'm super competitive, so I got to win a Super Bowl and be the MVP, and I could be up on, and I'm not gonna stop until I get that. So, that's motivating me. That's bigger than money, So, for me, if I can do that and bring the first one to Jacksonville, man, I will be, extremely, and be MVP. That's my goal. I'm not stopping until I get there.
I was trying to be the MVP.
Goosebumps, man, a little bit, huh?
Right?
Goosebumps a little bit. Yeah, I mean, once again, just can't say it enough. The character of Josh Allen. I think because we obviously we stay in a bubble here, guys, right? Like, we're in Jacksonville. We cover this team, so we know them in and out. I think on more of a global scale or even like a national scale, I think sometimes he's not as appreciated necessarily.
Sure.
Because, well, number one, okay, playing in Jacksonville can do that to you, but also, like, I don't think necessarily, like, his personality, like, you're not going to see Josh Allen like a lot of commercials.
No.
And stuff. And like, that's not, like, a knock on him by any means, because, like I said, I'm all about the leadership and the qualities that he brings to this team. And I also like it because I think he truly represents Jacksonville. You know, like, let's be honest, we're not Miami. All right? We don't have the lights and all the glamour of a Miami. We're blue collar. I think sometimes humble. Sometimes we get a little out of line on Twitter, but that's what we do, right? But we're almost like the forgotten one sometimes, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like Josh Allen kind of fits that mold a little bit, where we, he's the other Josh Allen. He's not in the light of TJ Watt sometimes, it feels like. Well, the guy was right up there with him in terms of quarterback sacks last season.
Yeah, to your point, I think there's a lot of people that watch NFL football every Sunday and, pick your state that's not this one, that yesterday when they went on Twitter were like, what? How much? Who? Like, that's just kind of the reality of the situation, whether that's Jacksonville, all the things you mentioned. But, I mean, that is the reality. But when you go and you look at what happened last year, when you see the stuff like this, it's not hard to understand why the Jags paid him.
No, without a doubt. I think we have one more soundbite here we can play from Kay Adams. And this one's, once again, on a national level, Kay Adams seems to be a really big Jacksonville Jaguars fan. She's said some nice things about the city and the team before. Let's hear her thoughts, because I want to break something down, what she said, and kind of what the perception I feel like has been about this whole thing.
Big news, monster deal. I couldn't be happier, okay? The Jags lock it up. They did the right thing at the perfect time. 26-year-old, two-time Pro Bowl linebacker Josh Allen. Have we seen the best of him? Probably not. He's getting 5 years, $150 million on the deal. That includes $88 million in guarantees. Now, in case you need a reminder, he's not just the other Josh Allen, some cute, little trite thing that people like to say sometimes. Only TJ Watt had more sacks last year, okay? He had 17 and a half. This is an anchor, and I'm so glad that the Jags decide to get this done. It's always nice to go into the OTA and schedule release portion of our program without the cloud, the looming, the what's going on with Josh Allen. They hit him with the tag. They get a deal done, and I love that they do it with their boy. This is they drafted him, 2019, seventh overall pick. That is a rarity for this franchise. Even they draft Jalen Ramsey, crushes it. He doesn't get paid by them. He goes and gets paid by the Rams, wins the Super Bowl, that whole thing. It doesn't really usually work out that way. Trevor's going to get paid, so it's nice to see, and you can balk all you want at this stuff, but they nailed it. They nailed it with this pick. The last first rounder, Jordan, who runs our social media, who's amazing and also a huge Jags fan, I asked him to come in studio and chop it up with me. How exciting is this? And it's just not something that they do. The last first rounder to get an extension there, I think, is Blake Bortles, who they drafted in 2014. Remember that? It doesn't happen. They don't really get to this point with their players. And this is new, and I like it for them. I also like it because you look what the Texans have done on offense. This was a necessity to have this sort of an anchor. And in general, I like the Jags. Everything that's happening.
Okay. So I think going forward in my career.
Oh no.
What?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna give everybody props all the time. So
no, you're not.
Tennessee Titans. Hey, beautiful. Calvin Ridley, welcome to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you get to the national level, you have to cater to the fan bases.
Yeah.
You gotta do your thing. No, she's not wrong here. Everything she said is correct. The one issue that I have, though, and she mentioned, I talked about this yesterday a little bit, there haven't been a lot of first-round picks here in Jacksonville that have been re-signed.
No.
It seems like everyone wants to give Trent Baalke his flowers.
Yeah.
For getting, hey, finally got the deal done. Was there a question of it not getting done? Did I miss that memo where it was were they really going to have him play on his franchise tag this season? Was there a chance that Josh Allen wasn't going to show up for training camp and then he had to play on that franchise tag and earn a contract next season? Did I miss that part? Or am I under the impression that, hey, he was getting paid the entire time. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I would say that it was always going to get done, but when you say stuff like they haven't signed a first-round pick since Bortles, it's very easy to go, are they going to get it done? Because Jags. They haven't. It's real, though.
Yeah,
when you hear Kay Adams talk about it, and it's almost depressing to hear the national people talk about it and how dumbfounded she sounded. She's like, they just signed somebody since Blake Bortles. It's sad.
It's known.
Sad.
Yeah.
So
it's sad.
I don't think that there was ever like a doubt. I didn't think he was ever going to play on the franchise tag, but at the end of the day, I think you're lying to yourself if that doesn't creep in somewhere. You're like, well, this is the Jags.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I feel like this probably would have went maybe a little before training camp to finally get it done. Like, I thought we were going to be talking about, okay, see how the draft shakes out, who do they draft there, and then the next question would have been, okay, well, what's up with Josh Allen now? Like, kudos to them, and Kay Adams mentioned this, and a lot of people have mentioned this. Kudos to them for getting this deal done before the draft, because now you can focus on all of that. Josh Allen will maybe be there for OTAs. He might be, once again, training where he trains in Arizona, and if that's the case, then bring the entire team out there and meet him out there because he's doing the right things out there.
$88 million guaranteed.
So just do that.
Shop the jet.
Shad Khan, gas up the Kismet. I'm sure there's a...
Oh, they could boat. Yeah, just
could
go
they
around.
boat to Arizona? You're gonna circumnavigate?
Oh, never mind. There's a whole continent built. Never mind.
You can get like a... Shad Khan can afford like a helicopter to drop it someplace else.
Helicopter the boat? That's...
Oh, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, there's fortresses that you could bring up and drop it in some other lake, or there's lakes in Arizona.
No, you could definitely... No, you can't.
Yeah, it's an air fortress, they call those.
You can't boat.
You can't boat?
It doesn't look
landlocked, huh?
It doesn't look good.
Missed it by that. Okay, so then go ahead and get a jumbo jet and fly out there, regardless. But getting back on topic here, I think that this deal was always going to get done. So like, I don't understand, and I get what you're saying, Kasey. Okay, yeah, the track record's not good. Okay,
Terrible, actually.
Bad optics. Yeah, horrible optics. Blake Bortles and Tyson Alualu, last guy since 2014. You've had some draft picks come through here that you've either traded away, that you didn't resign, or that fizzled out. So it's not a good look. I get that. But you'd have to be crazy to think we're in training camp and Josh Allen still isn't signed. Like, I just think that it was always going to get done regardless of who's at the helm or not. Like, you can't justify for what Josh Allen did last year. And I get maybe it was like a one special year and the other years are pretty consistent, but like he really went above and beyond this past year. Can he keep that up? We'll see. Doesn't matter. Because the stats dictate that, guess what? You're getting paid. And if Brian Burns at the time was the second highest paid edge rusher in the NFL, well, guess what, Josh Allen? You got more money than him now because that's what the stats are going to say.
Yeah, and listen, I don't think you're wrong. I think it always should have got done. But again, like it's not even just the first rounders. It's the history of who do they ever re-sign. They let Jan go, like not a first rounder, but still a guy that had the stats that said you should pay him. I get what happened, but like to your point, before he requested a trade, the back injury, all that, did you ever really feel like they were going to let Jalen go?
No, I mean I'll be honest. I thought he was going to stay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
because I thought he was too talented to let go.
Agreed, and Josh is definitely in that same boat.
Yeah.
So I think it was. I mean, again, I had faith they'd get it done. Maybe. Because new Jags or because I can't imagine what would have happened if they let him go. But
yeah.
I'm telling you that I could see why you would have a lot of doubt there because they just don't ever do it right, for lack of a better term.
Do you guys think this kind of resets the almost precedent around guys getting drafted here for the guys that are currently on the team that have been drafted of, hey, maybe this is a kind of a new thing slightly from the front office here, that if we play, you know, we have the opportunity to get paid here and stay here, whereas that hasn't been the case, and it almost provides a little bit, like you guys talked about, you know, go to Arizona, $88 million guaranteed, just do that. Almost, oh yeah, we can follow in Josh's footsteps, we can play better and get rewarded in the place that drafted us.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Hamby, when you talk about Josh Allen, keep in mind, there's better days ahead now, right? Because you're going to re-sign Trevor Lawrence. That'll be another guy.
Right.
We'll see with Travis Etienne. One would assume that you're going to somehow work something out with him where he'll be here for a while as well. So you're
changing the narrative.
So, yeah, that whole narrative in the next couple of years should change. Now, the whole Trevor thing, like, obviously, I think he needs to have a good season this year, and a lot of things have to fall into place, but the last thing you want, and maybe this Josh Allen thing ran a little too long for some people, right? Because you would have paid him a little sooner. Maybe you franchise tag Calvin Ridley, and who knows what we're talking about, right? It is what it is. Didn't get done. We move. With Trevor Lawrence, it's kind of the same vibe where it's like, all right, well, this is your guy, right? Like, yes, Josh Allen is the best player on the team. With all due respect to him, Trevor Lawrence is the most important player on the team. So next season, when we're sitting here again during this time, it's going to be all eyes glued to, all right, well, how do you treat the most important player on your team? Are you going to do right by him? Is it going to be a long, drawn-out process? And how is he going to feel about it? Right? Like what we saw, and once again, maybe Josh was a little frustrated through this process a little bit in terms of communication. We may never know. But we know the constant professional that he is, where he would never really give us those clues if he was frustrated. I mean, there was one like on his Twitter that he did, but even there, it's like it's kind of hard to read between the lines a little bit. So to answer your question, Hamby, like, yeah, I think that the times are changing. I think players now look, okay, they have a new facility, hopefully getting a new stadium. There's a lot of things to like in Jacksonville. And I've spoke on this before. I remember being a draft pick back in 2010, and essentially there's, 30 cities that you can live in, right? And I had no idea where I was going to go. But I knew at that time, back in 2010, myself, a lot of the guys that I trained with, my combine prep, all those guys said the same thing. Please don't take us Cleveland. Please don't let us go to Cleveland. Okay, now Cleveland's changed that narrative, right? They're a lot better team now, but I'm just saying, when I was 2010, when I was coming out, no one wanted to go to Cleveland. They had all the bad optics. They had all the bad things. I'm not sure if it ever got to that point in Jacksonville where draft picks were saying, please don't let me go to Jacksonville. But you talk about a team, you talk about an organization, let's call a spade a spade. They've had a lot of bad optics the past decade.
Real bad.
There's been some success, but a lot of bad optics. And optics that literally, like, whether it's the Urban deal, kicking the player. Remember the whole NFLPA thing saying, like, if you're a free agent, don't sell. Like, it was a lot of optics that were outside of football that other teams weren't going through.
Had nothing to do with football.
Nothing to do with football. Like Washington.
Kick people.
Yeah, Washington, they had their, Houston had their optics.
Absolutely.
For a couple years. But it just seemed like there was just a black curse over this thing for the past decade. And once again, I'm not taking away from 2017. I'm not taking away from 2 years ago, because there has been some good.
But not a lot. So I hope going forward now, and you still have to draft. Like, I'm not, if you want to give Trent Baalke his flowers, give him his flowers. It doesn't matter to me. I feel that, hey, you did the obvious thing. You paid the best player in your team. Congratulations. And you gave him what he's worth. I'm sorry, you gave him what he's earned. Okay? Simple as that. So that's kind of a no-brainer. So I can't come with you and say, wow, nice job. Just like I can't come with you and say, whoa, you drafted Trevor Lawrence. I'm with you there.
You drafted Trevor Lawrence. What did that entail? I mean, I get, like, you had more draft picks to worry about, but is there anything better than being a GM thinking, like, oh, okay, we're going to get this generational play on our team because Zach Wilson ain't it?
Yeah.
Mac Jones, we love you in Jacksonville, but you ain't going number one.
No.
Justin Fields, probably not.
No.
It was obvious. So when it's the obvious things, then I can't come with you. Now, with Trent Baalke, will I give him his props on some things? Absolutely. I think, in terms of, what should we give him his prop? Evan Ingram is a great example.
Yeah.
Getting that contract done, even bring Evan Ingram here, where a lot of teams were kind of hesitant on Evan Ingram of how things turned out in New York, right? And I may have been one of those people. I'm like, well, if it's not working in New York because they don't have a lot of weapons, why would it work here in Jacksonville? Well, maybe you needed a better quarterback, Daniel Jones talking to you, and maybe you needed a better offensive coordinator. And now Evan Ingram shining. So, like, it's not to say that Trent Baalke has just gone through this whole process here in the Jaguars and not made good moves. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying I will give you your flowers when you earn your flowers in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And signing the best player on your team, and once again, maybe not getting it done as quickly to bring back Calvin Ridley on a franchise tag, and getting a guy like Trevor Lawrence, you don't get flowers from me.
Yeah. Christian Kirk would be another one for
Christian Kirk's a great example. Well, and keep in mind, at the time, a lot of people were like, that's way too much money.
True.
Right? And maybe they're a little bit, that's Trent Baalke kind of facing the music, going against the grain and really paying off.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I can't really imagine at times in Trevor Lawrence's career, like if Marvin Jones wasn't here that first year, and the first year as bad as it was, how much worse would it have been? Because Marvin Jones is all Trevor had. And then Christian Kirk comes in and becomes that guy, Evan Ingram, now looking to, or pretty much was that guy last year. So I think you deserve credit for all of that. But back to what Hamby said, I think, like, you're right, because Josh Allen is like the point where you go, okay, screwed up a lot of stuff before this point. But from this point on, we're not screwing this up anymore. We're paying Josh, we're paying Trevor, we're paying ETN, probably, and then other guys that you drafted in later rounds. And I think that does say something to guys that are drafted or potentially could come here free agent-wise or draft-wise, because I would believe at times if you're, let's just say 2 years ago, and you've got Jacksonville picking at 17, you got Cincinnati picking at 18.
Yeah.
Which team do you want to pick you with where they were at that time?
Sure,
I think you do start to change that with signing a guy like Josh when they do pay Trevor, and that starts to change. So I think you're right there, Hamby. And it's also like, yeah, as bad as it is, they haven't signed any of their first rounders in a while. Jalen was the huge outlier that they screwed up. But you also have to pick the right people. Like DJ Henderson's and Caleb Chasson's and Taven Bryan's. Like, you weren't paying those guys.
Correct.
So it goes hand in hand, obviously. If you want to re-sign your guys, you got to make the right picks. So it looks like they're doing a little bit of that.
And real quick, before we go to break here, when you look at a GM, and I get, man, a GM has to do everything, right? You have to draft well. You have to get the free agencies when it's time, negotiate contracts. When you're looking at a GM, do you put more weight on how talented that GM is in terms of the talent that he drafts or the guys that he brings in free agency?
It's good. I think I would say draft.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because it feels like, and I think of the Rams, and they obviously didn't do it this way because they didn't draft anybody, but
and they still won a Super Bowl because of it.
Well, in my opinion, you win Super Bowls because you find those guys that you can pay next to nothing.
Puka Nacua.
Right. And then contribute to that Super Bowl when you have your, when you're paying the quarterback big or something like Kansas City, right? You obviously draft Mahomes, that's the home run, but you draft Pacheco out of nowhere, and how big is that guy? So I think if I'm picking a GM or grading a GM, can you find those dudes, not just in the first round, because I would like to believe that most people can find first-round picks, but as you go to the second, third, and fourth rounds, can you find those guys that can make an impact somewhere, you can save money at whatever position and help you get to the ultimate goal?
And I'm with you on that as well. Like, yes, you can. The Rams have shown the blueprint. You can win a Super Bowl by bringing in a bunch of free agents.
Sketchy, though.
Yeah, sketchy, number one. But number two, you still have to have that base, that foundation, right? Like having Aaron Donald helped.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like having talent like that helped. You can do it that way. But I think for sustained success, it's all about the draft. Like there's a reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't had a losing season in how long? There's a reason why year in, year out, despite of who they lose, the Green Bay Packers, well, they're the Green Bay Packers. The Baltimore Ravens are the Baltimore Ravens. Like, yeah, it's coaching, it's culture, but it's also how they draft. And I think if you want to put a masterclass on this draft, then yeah, it's going to be a fantastic offseason, a lot to talk about. You got the Josh Allen deal done, and kudos to you for doing that. But now the masterclass has to start with this draft because, number one, you're taking care of Trevor Lawrence, and what holes are you going to address going forward in a division now that's going to be super competitive? Speaking of masterclass, we're going to have the Brent and Austen and Kasey Masters Masterclass when we get back. It is a big golf day. Unfortunately, the rain's kind of putting a damper on that a little bit, but we'll talk about some things, maybe some prop bets out there. Who do we like for our favorites? And more next.
It's a new logo, new branding, but with Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. And with that comes the perks we miss in the big business world. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained. And they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. The folks at Bold City Heating and Air also know your AC unit is important and can be a big expense. That's why they have financing to help. No payments, no interest for 12 months on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown. Bold City Heating and Air.
Do you have ugly concrete around your home or business? Are you tired of concrete that is cracked, stained, or just plain ugly? Spartan Coatings' range of products provides a surface that is non-porous, easy to clean, antibacterial, and slip-resistant, all with superior durability.
Living in Florida nearly my whole life, I know the toll our weather can take on a garage floor. That's why I had Matt and the crew from Spartan Coatings transform this space. And the best part, they did it in one day.
It was a professional process from step one. The polyurea and polyaspartic system provides superior flexibility, is 4 times stronger than epoxy coatings, and will withstand temperatures high and low. Plus, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Whether it's a garage floor, patio, pool deck, driveway, or your interior flooring, Spartan Coatings has you covered. To get started transforming your ugly concrete surfaces, call 904-671-3930 or visit SpartanCoatings.com today for your free quote.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jacks team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access.
Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence.
You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays, here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, also known today. Oh yeah, show off that Prime, Kasey. There you go. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Showing off the Prime? Which flavor did you get today?
Lemonade.
Kasey Kuhrts joining us in-house as Brent is on the road in Augusta.
Go ahead, Kasey.
Oh yeah, Kasey, show it off a little bit. Let Jake and Logan see that. Oh wow. Hey, Jake and Logan cut the check.
Logan, cut the check, bro.
Did you see that
Not an ad, by the way. Not an ad.
Did you see that Logan bought? So the guy that was in the Prime thing at WrestleMania, it was in a Prime costume.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm supposed to know who that guy is? Because you just said like he's famous. So go and tell me who this guy is.
I mean,
who is he?
He's a YouTuber.
Oh, okay, yeah. So is he famous or not? No. Okay. So, anyways,
I recognized him, so that means he's famous.
I show. Speed.
What is he YouTube? Like, what is he?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Listen, I'm not. First of all,
golf's gonna have to wait now. Here we go.
I just advocate do not do this.
Okay.
Like what he did, but you can go watch the video.
Okay.
Type in "I show speed fireworks."
Okay, so don't do this on the company laptop with the Wi-Fi.
No. If you are listening to this and you're like, you know what I'd love to do, shoot off fireworks in my room.
Oh,
don't.
gotcha. Okay.
But feel free to watch the video. It's pretty hilarious.
Okay.
So he does really dumb stuff.
Okay.
But
so
the fireworks thing it got like 10 million.
So he's like the modern day Johnny Knoxville.
Sort of.
Okay.
But he's in that group with like obviously Logan and KSI.
And he boxed somebody, KSI.
Yeah, he's also.
You have to understand. Okay, but you have to understand. I don't do this.
I should be talking to Ronan right now because he'd be like, "Yeah."
No, I probably.
Aiden Ross, he's with them. No.
Aiden Ross, I see gets cooked all the time on Twitter for something.
Yes, he does, but he's mad rich.
But
So
he's like in the
that?
MMA like scene too as well.
He's just in everything.
Okay,
Basically.
cool. Okay. Anyways, though, so I guess the guy, what was his name again? Sorry, Speed.
I show speed.
I show speed.
Yeah, that's his.
Okay. I guess I show speed was at WrestleMania, and since he was there, Logan Paul bought him a new Tesla Cybertruck, but it's like all like obviously has all the bells and whistles.
I'm sure.
Just for being at WrestleMania, so it must be nice to have friends in high places.
For sure.
To get a new Cybertruck. By the way, those Cybertrucks are sweet.
Have you seen them yet?
There's
like 3 in Jacksonville. I've seen.
Oh yeah, so I don't want to out anybody, but there's one at Jack's Beach that hangs around like by the hotels, kind of like by sneakers and everything.
But you don't want to out him for sure.
I'm not gonna out him at all. Well, I think he was in town visiting, but it's a black, but it's like black and red. So
that's sick.
Obviously like that they wrapped it because you can't paint that. I think so. They wrapped it, but it looks sweet. Like the silver ones, a little too aggressive for my like.
I saw one silver one in St. Johns County. No surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a silver one on St. John's Bluff. I was like, it was like out of nowhere. I was like, is that a Cybertruck?
I'm just saying, it might be a next option for me. I like the way those things look.
Really?
Now I'm gonna let the price come down a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, maybe I have to buy a used one, but I like them. I like them a lot. Yeah, because number one, Teslas. Once this is a commercial for Tesla, I guess. Hey, I'm Austen Lane for the Tesla, But Tesla's super roomy. I'm a big dude because there's no engine.
Okay. Right. Sure.
And I feel like no gas. I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm with it.
A lot of things to like. But anyways, let's get back into the master class of the masters here with Brent, Austen, and Kasey, our special, if you will. And Kasey, you know me, I'm a super casual golf fan, but one thing did kind of perk my interest a little bit, and that is the man himself, Mr. Tiger Woods.
Sure.
And I think Brent might have a little bit of a video here for us featuring Tiger himself.
This is not the line to get into the Masters on Wednesday. Instead, it's the line to get into line at the gift shop. So for everybody asking for an item from the 2024 Masters, I'm not going in the fan shop. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Augusta National on the eve of the Masters 2024, 5-year anniversary of Tiger Woods, his latest major championship. And meanwhile, the most dominant player in the sport right now is Scottie Scheffler, back-to-back Players Championships, and he's trying to chase down the dominance of Tiger Woods while Tiger is watching the next generation try to catch up.
That's what we do. We pass on the knowledge to the next generation. And especially here, this is one of the events that we get a chance to do that just because we're playing on the same venue, each and every year. We're able to pass that on. And I think the Masters does an incredible job of bringing together the past and the future of the game of golf.
Wednesday, the final day to practice, but also the annual par 3 contest. A lot of roars on that side of the golf course, more than a handful of hole-in-ones, and of course, some special moments for the players and their families. What a beautiful day here in Augusta, Georgia. That all could change on Thursday. Weather could be a major storyline in the opening round of the Masters. At Augusta National, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jacks.
Brent Martineau, the prophet. Yeah, I guess weather is a little bit of an issue today.
Thank you, Brent.
At the Masters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, that logo from Tiger.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
Good thing he didn't wear the hat in the press conference.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Because, once again, I'm telling you, like, this logo right here. Get the logo off to the side, Tiger. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I actually got feedback on that when I went home. Amanda was like, "That's like, I guess." For females, they want like the logo in the middle. That's what she said.
Really?
Yeah. So she was like, I would buy it because it was in the middle. I was like, I wouldn't buy it because it's in the middle.
No kidding.
And because it looks stupid.
Females prefer it more in the middle.
Maybe just the one that I'm with. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say if we have people in the chat from a female perspective chime in, but I don't know, all my mom, and that's about it.
And
so
probably Amanda.
And Amanda, yeah. So I would love to hear some more on that. I've never heard that, but it could make sense.
Yeah, she as it turns out, she has a bunch of shirts with the logo in the middle. I was like, oh, okay, this is real. But yeah, it's terrible.
Casey, what does Tiger Woods being back do for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be not in the majority here. It doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm content with golf how it is currently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need or really am that much more interested because Tiger is playing. I understand that a lot of people are because Tiger's that dude, and that's fine. But like, to me, it's like, I don't know, pick your guy if you're talking baseball that's like playing 30 games a year because he's just on the retirement tour.
I got you. Okay.
Or like the pass rusher that plays 3 snaps a game. Something like that. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, I thought it was really cool when Tiger won the Masters a few years ago because that was like the first time that me as a golf fan saw the dominant Tiger, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's a little before your time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So like the 2019 was cool, and I was like, okay, I felt like I experienced what everybody else experienced
That's a good
for
point.
like a whole 10 years. And now I'm intrigued by people like Brooks Koepka and Scotty Scheffler and those guys because of just the talent that they have now, and those are the guys right now. So I would watch the same amount Tiger playing or not.
See, this is a fascinating point because I never really thought about it like that. Because obviously Brent's a big Tiger fan,
Loves him.
And listen, Tiger Woods was the only reason for a while I actually even would think about watching golf because I grew up with it. Right? It was different. It was historic. I mean, very rarely I feel like in the sport of golf do you get a guy that's so dominant but also looked really different. Obviously, in terms of he's a black player, so. It got my attention because wow, he doesn't look like everybody else, and then he had some style with him as well, and just his dominance is like, this is a guy I can get behind. Because I always feel like, and I think tennis is different too because tennis has a lot of dominant champions. You have Hoffa, and then you got I'm gonna just butcher his names now, but Djokovic, thank you very much. And then the other dude is Roger Federer. I feel like we're the big three. Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, usually they're probably going to win that, right? With golf, I felt like anybody could win. You could have 20 different names win. But there was a time when I was a kid where odds are, coin flip, it might be Tiger. And like that was a fun part. That was a fun thing to be a part of. So Hamby, going to the kids' corner, a guy who's slowly starting to get into golf, kind of new to the scene a little bit. Does Tiger Woods do anything for you, or are you too young to understand the greatness that was when I was growing up?
Yeah, I mean, it does a little bit. I'm more so on Casey's side than 95% of golf fans, but I will be interested just to see, like when I scores, like I'll be zeroing in just to see if Tiger, how he's playing. Did he make the cut? And then on the weekend, like I'll probably flip it over one more time than I normally would, just because I want to see if Tiger's I want to see him play. And I caught the Sunday round of the 2019 Masters, even really before I watched period, just because he was playing and he was in contention, and obviously he won. But as a whole, definitely not even close to the amount of majority of golf fans who are. I mean, there's going to be so many people, I feel like, who are tuning in just to see him play.
100%.
Yeah.
And they know that. I mean, that's the thing that also annoys me a little bit as, like, I will watch Thursdays at any random golf tournament. Like, I do watch, right? Mm-hmm. So when we're talking Augusta and we're talking the best players on earth and you're showing me Tiger Woods who's 18 shots back, I'm good. If he's in contention, let's see it. I don't need to see every shot Tiger hits. Give me the guy that's in third and is 2 shots back. You know what I mean? Like, there's such a focus, and I understand why. But to me, at that point, I'll go ESPN Plus and watch, like, featured groups of guys. I'm like, I don't need to see it. People want to see every shot. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
but that's not why I'm here.
I mean, this is a better question than for you guys because my answer is probably going to be a little different. When you talk about legacy, like, because I see some people on Twitter say all the time, like, oh, he's got to retire, man. Like, he's 10 out right now. Like, it's embarrassing. It looks bad, all this stuff. And I'm like, well, he's not a fighter. It's not like you're watching a fighter go into the twilight of his career. He keeps on getting knocked out, so it's embarrassing because you're worried about his health. He's a professional golfer. And you know what you do when you retire? You golf. So, like, I never understood the narrative of, like, man, he's got to hang it up now. Like, he's not who he used to be. Hang it up. You're hanging up. You're in the sport to hang it up at. Hang it up whenever you want to. When you hang it up, you golf. So, like, let him golf. So, if, like, from me, I don't necessarily care because, once again, I know what Tiger was in his prime. I was front and center on TV, not in person, obviously, but sure. I was front and center on the TV. I was playing all the video games. Like, I knew what he was. So, like, he can't do anything to me right now to tarnish that legacy. Now, the logo...
It's a start.
You're getting off to a little. I mean, the logo, Tiger. I'm used to you seeing that. That red polo shirt, that Nike swoosh off to the side, that Nike hat, and everything. Oh man,
it's cold.
So cold. Way ahead of his time. And now it's kind of like okay. But my question to you guys is, if you keep seeing Tiger, be on the outside of contention, keep slipping through the leaderboard, 10 out of it or 15 out, whatever the case may be. Maybe it doesn't even make the cut. Does that tarnish his legacy to you guys?
No.
No, not at all.
It says maybe just call it.
Okay.
But no, I mean, there are very few people that on the field, court, whatever. I'm not talking about stuff that could happen off of the court, or the field, but in their sport, Tiger's one of few that it does not matter how many he could miss every cut for the next 30 years. I don't think anything changes.
Yeah. Hamby.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
He's just a legend. Like, there's very few of those guys. Like, I think the closest thing would be Michael Jordan on the Wizards.
Yeah, and I don't
Does
even remember.
Anybody care?
No, that's a good point.
Like, people,
I don't.
Like, the only people that bring it up are like Brian Middleton, who's trying to make an argument about LeBron.
About LeBron.
You know what I mean? But by the way, hey, LeBron's probably going to go to like the Houston Rockets when they draft Bronny. So,
right, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But it's not going to change anything. So I just think he's one of those guys that it will never
affect him.
Yeah,
never affect his prestige. No, and I mean, like I said, I agree with that because I remember the greatness, and you can do whatever you want. But it's cool to see that the younger generations also kind of fall in suit a little bit. Before we give our Masters predictions, do we know where Brent stands on this, by the way? Like, in terms of who he has winning?
We can find out.
Okay, yeah, text him or something, see what's up. Another quick question, Case, before we get into the prop bets and everything. Scottie Scheffler.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once again, very casual at golf, but I know who he is. I know he's had a lot of success. I know he's kind of on a hot streak right now, and I also know that the guy is, in terms of entertainment, about as entertaining as the Real Housewives show that I watched like one time and I was done with it.
Oh, okay.
Now, some people are into that. I'm not. If Scottie Scheffler wins this thing, or is in contentions in the name, does it do anything for the sport of golf? Because the guy's been on a dominant run, or is the personality just so mundane and so plain where it's like we'd almost prefer him if he didn't win it?
So it's interesting. I think if you're older golf fan, I think this is a tough relatable. But what is interesting about Scottie is when you go to like events on Thursday, Friday, the amount of like frat boys, for lack of a better term, and people that are just following him chanting Scottie, like he does have that in a certain group of people.
Okay.
We're talking younger male and female fans because good looking dude.
Sure. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he does have that segment of like golf fans.
Yeah.
In terms of older golf fans, I don't think it relates because you're never gonna get that polarizing soundbite. Like it's just not gonna happen from Scottie.
Yeah. I mean he's gonna thank Jesus, which is fine. I mean that's great. He's very strong in his faith. He's very strong in family, and that should be awarded. That should be looked at as a good thing. But from a polarizing figure, from a popular figure, it doesn't do much in the ratings, I feel like.
No, it doesn't. But he will be in contention because he's just playing that way right now. And if he does win, it would be as dominant as anything we've seen recently because it being the Masters. You'd be back-to-back there. You were just back-to-back at the Players. And you can say what you want about the other majors because Brooks Koepka's gone back-to-back on multiple occasions at the U.S. Open and the PGA, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the PGA Championship is the Masters. You go back-to-back at the Masters, coming off a back-to-back at the Players Championship, you're as dominant as it gets right now. You're the best in the world. So from a headline, you're probably not getting a push from Apple News top stories like I just got, but people, golf fans, and even I think casuals, you have to start recognizing that this dude may be just a little bit different.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, if he can sustain this success, I mean, greatness is greatness, right? It doesn't matter what your personality is. Like, I don't know if Caitlin Clark gives the best sound bites per se, or like, you know, is the most. Oh, she's pretty flashy in terms of her playing style. But like, if you're great, you're great, and I think people will gravitate towards that. I just, in the sport of golf, I don't know Tiger Woods what great looks like. Like, I don't know how consistent you have to be in the realm of, hey, it doesn't matter what you sound like, how you dress, how you come across, you're great, so I'm going to tune into you.
I think that's kind of where I was going to take it, and especially with golf, it feels like greatness takes the precedent over personality every single day of the week. And, you know, I think PGA or whoever and golf fans in general are really wanting him to be in contention. They want him to be, because he is the biggest thing going right now. Personality aside, nobody has done what he's able to do as far as two back-to-back players who won the Masters last year. Like, the run that he's been over, Kasey, correct me if I'm wrong, like the last 18 months, 2 years, is we haven't seen almost since Tiger.
And see, I didn't mean to cut you off, Hamby, real quick, but this is the wild thing then to me, Kasey, and Jason as well. Because I remember like everyone talking about Jordan Spieth being like the next big thing.
He had one unbelievable,
but he was everywhere though. Is what my point is. I mean, like I even knew, like I followed him, like I knew all about him, and then all of a sudden the guy kind of fell off a little bit. Hamby saying the run that he's been on is even more impressive than Jordan Spieth, and still I feel like he doesn't get as enough love as Jordan Spieth does.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the Jordan thing was interesting because he was a phenomenon for that year because he was so great. He did win the Masters, and then he won again, and then he won again, and then he won the FedEx Cup. Like, he was that dude. And to be honest, they're friends. Like, they played college golf together. Like, they're very similar dudes.
Okay.
So it was interesting to me that Jordan kind of got pushed in that way because he's not super interesting, right? It is very similar. But they just...
But I could pick him out of a lineup, Under Armour, you know, like he had that big sponsorship. Like I could,
I think a lot of that was that he was like a phenomenon in college and even before. Like,
yes,
avid golf fans knew who Jordan Spieth was going into college, so he was already the next big thing. And then he comes on to the tour and wins and wins and wins. And Scheffler is more so, you know, avid fans knew who he was. Nobody outside of it did. He didn't have a whole lot of hype around him. There wasn't a whole lot of expectations. He a little bit more so came out of nowhere. Like, not nowhere, but he came out of the weeds and kind of just has gone on this tear.
Do you guys think that Scheffler has the longevity to have greatness, or will we see another Jordan Spieth situation where you have the flash in the pan, but then for whatever reason you seem to fall off a little bit?
No, he's that dude. I think it's a good point from Hamby because it's not like Scottie Scheffler just got on the PGA Tour last year. Like, he's been here, and he did struggle because the golf swing was weird, and he wasn't consistent with it. And then once he's figured it out, and he's been consistent with his swing on the tee, like, he's dominant. So I don't think this is like a flash in the pan type deal. I think he's great. How great, I don't know, because in golf, you run into like a Rory McIlroy situation where he's won a ton, he's won the first 3 majors, he's sitting on the 4th.
Yeah.
And Scotty now has the Masters, all good, like, but to be an all-time great, you've got to get all 4. And that's why Rory's like, depending on who you ask, Brent loves him, that's fine, but in my opinion, he's got to get the Masters at some point. So how does that start to transition? Brooks is a guy that doesn't have all 4, but he's got 2 and 2. So it's just...
No, I mean, to me, it's almost like the quarterback you have to win a Super Bowl, right? Like, Dan Marino's fantastic and one of the best quarterbacks of all time, but he gets a little hate sometimes because he didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
kind of compare. I mean, I'm trying to compare it to all the casual football fans out there too.
Not too bad.
As well. I tried, man. All right, Hamby, let's get some prop bets in real quick. I bet Brent's proud of us right now for breaking all this golf down.
You got no idea. I'm sure he's thrilled. Now, I'll tell you what he's not doing.
Yes.
Text him back.
Oh, we're trying to get his golf picks?
Listen, that's fine. It's raining though, huh?
Went to ghost, huh? He ghosted you a little bit?
I mean, I'm looking at it say delivered. This guy, if you've ever seen Brent in real life, and I know that some of you listening have not, and that's fine, bro's phone is always in his hand.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And rumor has it he's never not on it. Okay? I've been on trips with dude, and in the car with dude. Bro is always on his phone. Okay? So, hey,
Snitching?
Text me back, please. Bro's holding it while he's on TV. Go look.
That is impressive. He is, yeah, for sure. It's part of his job. I mean, I think this is why I will never make it in the, I've made, I'm in the business, I like to say that. Sounds professional.
Yeah, you made it.
But, in terms of, the elites, listen, there was one time where and I say this all the time, me and Ian Rappaport were kind of on the same level a little bit. He would hit me up. I wouldn't really hit him up, but he'd hit me up all the time. Oh, that was a funny tweet, yada, yada, yada. And then, and listen, I'm self-aware with where I'm at right now.
Sure.
Ian Rappaport just rose, man. And now I'm still, hey, I'm on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 app.
And I don't see him here.
He ain't here. But I'm just saying, Ian Rappaport is kind of a heavy hitter. And a lot of that has to do with the cell phone. I think of just sharing things, posting things.
I'll say this, though.
I'm trying to get to that point. I just don't care.
About people on Twitter. If you're on Twitter and you watch this show on Twitter,
yeah.
First off, if you follow Brent on Twitter and haven't muted him, it's unbelievable.
The roast of Brent Martineau.
This dude is tweeting nonstop. But
yes.
I can't explain to you, and nobody cares. Not one person cares about what I'm going to say. And I've said it before. To tweet during this show and try and still hold conversation.
Yeah.
Because when we were in that other spot, Brent was like, "You got to try to tweet during your show," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like,
"Oh, it's so hard."
Okay,
man.
I'm going to tweet here, and then Brian's like, "Right," and I'm like, "I don't know."
And especially, and keep in mind, a little behind the scenes of how a show would work. Usually there's kind of a point man. It kind of sets everything up, you know, and kind of takes the lead.
And he's also that dude.
Brent is that dude. I'm kind of that dude right now. I can't even have my smoothie, I feel like, because I'm so just locked in.
Right.
And he can tweet breaking news. He can respond in the tweets and everything and still run point on a show. I mean, it takes reps, I guess, but I'm not there. I'm not even close to being there.
Bro's sending emails, tweeting, and texting his kids while holding a conversation.
It's insane.
It's unbelievable.
Absolutely insane. All right, let's go to these prop bets real quick here, Kasey. What do we got for us here, Hamby?
Yeah, we're just going to run through these real quick. Will Tiger make the cut? That's almost even, but the no for him not to make the cut is the favorite at -135. I think all of the sharps would be on the no. All of the fans would be on the yes. So the smart money's on the no.
I think he knows what's at stake here with his new brand and getting that brand on television as much as possible.
See, I'm going opposite. I think he knows it sucks and he's trying to get it off TV. I'm going no.
He's embarrassed.
He's realized he's made a mistake. We'll see Tiger next year at the Masters. He'll be wearing Nike. They'll be like, what happened?
Watch him pull out because of the rain. My back acted up a little bit. I'm out of here. Not even going to compete. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going hard no.
I'll go yes. Hamby?
I'll say no.
Okay, Tiger Woods, round one score, over under 73.5.
Give me the over because of the weather.
I'll go with that.
I'll go with the over as well, actually. Yep. Tiger Woods score on hole one. Par, bogey or worse, birdie or better. Dang.
Give me the par.
On one, give me the bogue. Give me the bogue, Larone.
I have played this course many times on the new EA Sports Golf 2K or whatever it's called now. It's not even Tiger Woods anymore. It's a hard hole.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude, the putting, I mean,
know, it's a disaster.
I have it on hard mode, but you chip up there, so you chip up, you get it by the hole, and then, dude, the breaks are just everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like I-4.
It's terrible.
It's just everywhere, man. Yeah, give me bogey or worse, I think.
I can't believe you bought the 2K Golf.
So I didn't buy it. Actually, my best friend back in Wisconsin has it, and you know what SharePlay is on PlayStation? So SharePlay basically says that if you have a game, you can invite someone to play that game for free.
Really?
Yeah, you share like the screen.
Is that real?
I swear. Yeah, man, it's one of the perks of the PS5. So
I have one.
Yeah, then do a share play. So
I didn't know I could.
Yeah, so if you had a game, like whatever, so we'll say you bought the new Call of Duty, okay?
Uh-huh.
And say your friend across the country doesn't have the Call of Duty game, you can invite him to a share play, and your friend will play off of your game, your system.
Huh.
Check it out, man. It's cool.
You can do that.
But anyways, yeah. So I share play EA Golf 2K, whatever.
That might actually be sadder, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Honestly,
I can't imagine sending that text. Hey man, can I share play the 2K Golf?
Okay, well, to be fair, we were playing Call of Duty for a long time, and my heart rate got up a little too high, more than I liked it at 9 o'clock at night.
That's fair.
So I'm like, hey man, let's just go ahead and relax a little bit, and let's play some, 2K.
And then you got frustrated because of the putting.
So frustrating, man. The putting's so hard. It's impossible. Okay, next one. What will happen first? Tiger Woods makes a birdie. Tiger Woods makes a bogey.
Bogle around.
I'll take bogey too, Hamby.
Give me the birdie. Give me par on hole 1. Give me a little bird ski on 2.
Okay.
That's belief right there.
Okay. I think 2 was pretty hard to putt out as well. On,
they all
2K. They were super hard. Will Tiger Woods play any round bogey free?
No shot.
Yes
Absolutely
is plus 1,000. Wow.
I want to talk about generational wealth if you're feeling real good about it.
Yeah, I guess if you're feeling real, that's pretty. Can anybody really do that? I mean, will the top players?
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll
happen. Okay.
Somebody will do it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, before we go to break here, let's do the real big story of the Brent, Austen, and Kasey Masters Masterclass. And Hamby, feel free to take part as well. Kasey Kuhrts, you're the resident expert right now. Who do you have winning the Masters?
Scotty Scheffler's going to win, but I'm not going to pick him because he's that dude.
Yeah.
I'll buy in and I'll go Roy. He's playing well.
Finish the story, Rory.
Finish the story. Yeah, this is a very much finish the story moment. At some point, it's going to happen. I think I've said that for like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it again. I think it could happen. He's playing well. He's not playing as well as like a Scotty Scheffler, but he's got to get it done at some point. Why not on a rainy week in Augusta?
I feel like he is from England, yeah?
Yes. Well, he's from Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, but a lot of rain, a lot of cloudy weather there.
I would think so.
Might be accustomed to it. Hamby, who you taking?
I'm going to take Xander Schauffele.
Look at that.
Because he's
good there.
He's a guy that I've known. He's one of the guys that I've known for a long time, and he's always been really good but never great and could never finish.
Can't finish.
But he has kind of a new swing, or has made a lot of adjustments. It really got put under the microscope at TPC.
Hamby with the homework.
And he was right in the mix and barely lost at TPC, which was 3 weeks ago?
Okay.
Maybe a month. So I feel like maybe that loss is a good thing for him. The new swing is he's building on it. He's got positive momentum still, and he's finally gonna finish the story this Sunday in Augusta.
If it makes you feel any better about Xander Schauffele, my best friend that I play on the share play with, the Tiger 2K or whatever, what do you call it? He's always Xander Schauffele because his name's Alex, so like Alexander, so he picks Xander Schauffele all the time. And we played Augusta last week, and he beat me by 5 strokes. So take that for all you want with Xander Schauffele.
Who'd you play as?
Tiger, dude. Come on. Come on.
How many people are in the game?
Oh, everybody. Dude, they even have like...
everybody. There's no one.
No, they have everybody. They even have... What are the now we're back on the prime YouTubes. The guys that do the trick shots.
Dude Perfect?
Yes.
What?
They have the Dude Perfect guys in the game as well. You can pick as. John Cena's in the game. Yeah.
Why?
Steph Curry's in the game. I don't know.
Steph Curry makes sense. He golfs.
True, I guess. Yeah, John Cena's in the game.
John Cena just does shoulder tackles and waves in front
Well,
of his
John Cena's power's at 99, so talk to him about it. Now his accuracy is trash.
When are we going to talk about that bald spot that we saw when he looked the other way against The Rock in WrestleMania?
I mean, maybe we can break that down on Friday Fits.
All right, Austin, who you got?
Yeah, well, Hamby, you're fairly new around my golfing picks and everything.
I forgot about this.
I take competitions very seriously. All right, I'm a competitor. Whether it's Uno, MMA, football, or golf picks, I want to win.
Uno.
So we talk about wanting to win. I have a scientific method that I use. Mm-hmm. And I've crunched the data. right? I've crunched the numbers, and this year, since it's raining, I'm looking at the field right now on Masters.com.
Sure.
And I'm looking at the guy who is most likely going to wear a poncho. Now, take that for how you want.
Yeah.
Right? Not gonna be swag, anybody's look or anything. But once again, I've crunched the numbers, and this guy sticks out more than anybody as somebody who would wear a poncho, and not just at Disney. This guy's probably got a couple ponchos in his closet right now.
Ready to hanging up on a hanger?
Because I'm looking at his picture, and he's rocking an Old Navy tech vest from 1999 in his Masters picture. Go ahead and give me Lee Hodges.
Okay.
Lee Hodges is my pick. Is he good? No, not at all.
I forgot we're on video now.
No, not.
He's fine.
Kasey shaking his head like no.
I was thinking about the other. I was like, I can get away.
Okay, yeah. So not a good player though.
Not the best.
Okay, we'll see though.
We'll see. You never know.
I mean, hey, it's rainy. A lot of things can happen.
He's got ponchos. Clearly,
Lee Hodges loves to slop. We'll see what happens.
That's foul, bro.
Stay tuned. What? That's foul. I'm just saying, man. He can prove people wrong.
He loves the slop.
Hey, he loves the slop. He loves slopping it up a little bit. It's all good. Hey, go down to the docks right now. Talk to your bookie, and go and put a dime on Lee Hodges. Tell him Austen sent you. Let's go to break here. When we come back, we gotta get into John Calipari.
We do.
We gotta get in that press conference. Is it good for the University of Arkansas? Is it good for the SEC? Does it just mean more? And do the Razorbacks actually have a team?
It's unconfirmed at this time.
We'll find out.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Do you have ugly concrete around your home or business? Are you tired of concrete that is cracked, stained, or just plain ugly? Spartan Coatings' range of products provides a surface that is non-porous, easy to clean, antibacterial, and slip-resistant, all with superior durability.
Living in Florida nearly my whole life, I know the toll our weather can take on a garage floor. That's why I had Matt and the crew from Spartan Coatings transform this space. And the best part, they did it in one day. It was a professional process from step one. The polyurea and polyaspartic system provides superior flexibility, is 4 times stronger than epoxy coatings, and will withstand temperatures high and low. Plus, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Whether it's a garage floor, patio, pool deck, driveway, or your interior flooring, Spartan Coatings has you covered. To get started transforming your ugly concrete surfaces, call 904-671-3930 or visit SpartanCoatings.com today for your free quote.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Thank you for making Action News Jax the best in Jax and Folio's Best of Jax 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jax local coverage you can count on.
It's a new logo, new branding, but with Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. And with that comes the perks we miss in the big business world. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained. And they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. The folks at Bold City Heating and Air also know your AC unit is important and can be a big expense. That's why they have financing to help. No payments, no interest for 12 months on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown. Bold City Heating and Air.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, featuring Kasey Kuhrts today in the hot seat, in Brent's seat, if you will. Still feeling good?
Hey.
You're here.
We're here.
You're here, man. That's all that matters.
You know?
A rainy day at Augusta, unfortunately, so play has been delayed, but hopefully they'll get started up here in a little bit. Talked about Josh Allen a little bit in that press conference of just showcasing the type of guy that he is and what he's going to mean for this team and this city for at least 5 more years to come. I mean, do you think he's going to become a lifetime Jaguar? Or do you think eventually, age gets the best of you and you move on? I mean,
is anybody a lifetime anybody anymore?
That's a really good point. Not really, no.
Yeah,
it's very rare.
I think the easy answer is probably no.
Probably no.
At some point.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes you appreciate a guy like Brad Meester.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and probably could have still played a couple more years, obviously, but
same with Linder.
Linder too as well, but lifetime Jaguars, those two guys are. Mm-hmm. So centers.
About it.
Yeah, might be something to that. Yeah, maybe there's a little trait there of the centers being a little more loyal than everybody else. But speaking of loyalty, Kasey, John Calipari, UK, was a match made in heaven. At least it seemed like it for a long time. The Big Blue Nation, the Calipari in terms of recruiting, it made a lot of sense. A lot of great players have come from UK, but some would say a lot of underachieving as well.
Definitely.
Not a lot of national championships going on in UK. A lot of draft picks, a lot of lottery picks, but not a lot of national championships. So what happens this year? Kentucky underachieves.
Big time.
They get beat by Oakland.
Was it Oakland?
I think it was Oakland, right? Yeah, Oakland goes out super early, busts a lot of brackets, and John Calipari leaves. Now, do you think it was more of Kentucky saying, hey, I'm going to need you to leave? Or was this John Calipari saying, you know what? I've kind of worn out my welcome here.
I mean, I think Kentucky, after that debacle, should have been looking to upgrade. It's fine, you've been here a long time, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But, if we can do better, we got to do better.
Yeah.
So I think there was a decent amount of that, but also I think if you're some sort of self-aware, John Calipari had to at least feel like, yeah, maybe not the best spot to be right now.
And I think Kentucky fans were kind of wanting a change as well.
Yeah.
Right? Having great players can only get you so far. Watching NBA players can only get you so far. Eventually, especially a blue blood program like that, you want championships.
Mm-hmm.
So when we fast forward, Arkansas comes a-calling.
Arkansas.
Right? Kansas comes a-calling. And here's how I feel about Arkansas. Now, I know older people, the olds in the chat, may feel a different way. I always kind of felt like Arkansas in the SEC, they're not like Vanderbilt to me. Or they're not like, I'm trying to think of another, like they're adequate. They're substantial, but like they never to me were at the top of anything.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, yeah, but even Mississippi State had like Dak and they were like on top. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, they're still mid.
Missouri.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. Like they just kind of always seemed mid to me.
They're there.
No, I know like they've won a national championship, I think, in basketball before, but this once again, I was super young, don't remember that whatsoever. So I know there is some story tradition there, but in the past, let's call it 15 years, decade or so. I don't remember a lot about Arkansas in terms of being in a national championship spotlight, whether it's basketball or football.
No.
Okay? Good players, not in a championship. So you get a guy in John Calipari who's coming from Kentucky who they don't probably want him there anymore. And it seems like it's almost like when you're dating a girl who's out of your league, right? Like Arkansas gets him, and now it's like, oh man, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Like this, huh? We didn't see this coming. Like, what do we do? And do we have the press conference ready, Hamby?
Yep.
Let's go and just drop that real quick.
You know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. I'm like, let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team. So now Hunter's really extremely confident, but we got to get a roster together. And some of it is a little bit of everything, but we will. It may take a little longer.
Hold on.
I met with the team. There is no team.
Hang on. Okay, Hamby. I'm going to need you to chalk it back up real quick because I want you guys to... He scripted the first part. Yeah. There's energy. There's excitement. It's going to be a new era in Razorback basketball. Woo pig or Sue pig, whatever they say. Like
Pig suey,
whatever the case may be. He's excited. It's contagious. Everyone's excited, and then all of a sudden it's like reality kicks in because then he changes the tune so fast, and it's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Play it again, please.
You know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity.
So jacked.
Like,
look at this.
I'm like,
I want
let's
to play
go.
for this guy.
Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
He took a job to coach a team that doesn't exist.
Oh, man.
Bro, on their website, on their roster,
one dude.
One player.
I'm looking at him. I guarantee you.
One guy.
Lawson Blake or Blake Lawson, depending on how they list it. I don't know if it's backwards. Lawson Blake.
Sounds like a blue chipper.
The
Sounds
senior
like a stud.
from Arkansas has to be furious because he's like, I'm the team. What do you mean there is no team? You just talked to me.
I don't know if you saw his entrance too when he got off the plane.
Oh my gosh.
Kevin, do you have that or not?
I don't.
Okay, so they had Big Red, the mascot, greet him.
Okay.
Pouring rain. Just sheets and sheets of rain. And you got this mascot with an umbrella trying to like greet Calipari's coming off the like, it's just
not
the
good.
Mascot looked miserable. I'm sure the guy inside's like, hey, what the hell are we doing? And then you got Calipari trying to avoid the rain and everything. It's just like, it just seems to me, like I said, it's like that girl that you had no chance in getting, and now she's at the table with you. You guys are at Red Lobster or wherever, something fancy.
You made it.
And now it's like,
what do I do?
Now what?
By the way, not to pile on Lawson Blake, his season high in points last year.
Hit me with it.
This is shocking.
Room for improvement?
His season high was 1 point. He hit a free throw. So Calipari's not wrong. He does team, bro. He can't go out there with one free throw.
If you're a Razorbacks fan, what are you thinking right now?
Did you see the booster that got a standing ovation?
Oh, yeah. Hey.
A booster.
Welcome to 2024.
Yeah, literally.
Guy was treated like royalty.
I mean, imagine going back 10 years ago and telling somebody, a big college sports fan, in 10 years, a booster will be getting a standing ovation in a basketball arena full of SEC fans because he paid for Coach Calipari.
This is the Tyson Chicken guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this goes to show you where we are right now in terms of sports and NCAA. Because that ovation, I saw the video, I'm like, oh, this guy, like, did he serve overseas, Medal of Honor winner? You know how we treat, like the salute the service guys. And, give him a stand bit. No, this guy knows his way around some chickens.
Frozen chickens.
And we treat him like he's the second coming. Like
he is to those people.
I guess. I mean, he's responsible for getting John Calipari there, but let's keep within reason. Like, I get Calipari's a big name. I get him with. He knows too. He's like,
took his hat off.
Yeah, I'm the hat tip.
Bro said, acknowledge me.
Did you hit back-to-back home runs in the World Series? What are we doing? Look how many people there. There's a lot of people there, though.
You would think this guy is the back-to-back championship winning coach.
Yeah.
Bro's just supplying chicken frozen.
Just
look at him.
He's like, oh, please, it was nothing.
The blue puffer jacket.
Hey, clap the chickens. The chickens did all the work. Don't worry about me. Unbelievable. What do you think is going to happen in Arkansas going forward here, guys?
They're going to have to find some players.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be step number one.
It shouldn't be too hard for Coach Cal.
True, but like, how wild is that?
Oh, the press conference?
Well, no, you take a job that you don't have a team.
Less an expansion team.
Yeah.
Nothing. And there's like, there is a guarantee, don't get me wrong. But there's really, everybody can tell you no.
Yeah. Just can we play it one more time, Hamby, before we go to break? Just the way he comes out so energetic, and then he's like, I got some bad news. We have nothing.
It's the now.
You know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. I'm like, let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
Right there. Hey, so now when someone goes, all right, now,
let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
All right.
We'll get you a team.
And he looks at like everybody in that little.
Yeah.
There is no team.
But hey, so I think we got we've heard from Brent. Brent's responded. We got some new video coming from Augusta.
We do.
We can share. So let's go ahead and go to break real quick.
There you go.
We'll come back in with that video, and then you know what time it is. We just got out of the studio actually for making our new song.
Yes.
We did.
Could be a banger. Stay tuned because we have Shock Your Mock coming up as well.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, well, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com or calling 904-902-4999. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
I'm Action News Jack's First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beaton. Well, the sun is up and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Sometimes you just need a day to yourself. And Garrett's First Alert forecast makes sure you're ready to go out and enjoy. Garrett and the Action News Jax This Morning team, helping you start your morning right.
Discover how good your water can be with a new Kinetico softener and drinking water system. Kinetico's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Kinetico Premier Softener with a Kinetico K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Kinetico water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Kinetico dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Community. That's who we serve.
It's the people. Yeah, it's the people.
Demanding answers. Because the truth matters.
When are you going to do the job?
Listening and getting help to those who need it.
I just appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
It's about telling stories from deep inside our neighborhoods, informing you, building connections, tracking storms.
Serious storm situation, the kind of which we rarely see.
Holding people accountable.
You were getting at the truth.
That's who we are. Action News Jax.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to Brent and Austen, or Austen and Kasey today, as Brent is in Augusta. We're going to have a feature by him in a second here, but some breaking news earlier today, Kasey, and actually, in a little bit of a somber news, it is a death. People feel a certain type of way about this person. Nevertheless, O.J. Simpson, has passed away. By my indications, it was cancer.
Yep,
I think.
Yeah, that's what it looks like from Adam Schefter and those on Twitter. But yeah, that was. I mean, we were in commercial break, and I saw a non-verified source that was like O.J. Simpson. I was like, whoa, and talking about it, and then Schefter had it, and the real Adam Schefter. I mean, again, obviously, everybody's going to feel some type of way. I understand it,
without a doubt,
but still, is prominent figure the right word here? He's
polarizing. I think is a good word. So I'm not sure how you feel about OJ, but growing up as a kid in the 90s, I didn't really know him as a football player. I knew of him in terms of watching the old highlights, but it wasn't live with me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know who he was as a football player. I mean, my first introduction to OJ Simpson was a lot of kids my age, or I say kids now, I'm a man, but a lot of 36-year-olds, whatever, my age, where I remember exactly where I was when that white Bronco was on the highway. And I remember watching it live, and I remember just, looking at my grandparents and my mom, and they were just in shock of what was happening. Now me, I couldn't comprehend it, right? I'm like, oh, okay, police chase, cool, let's see what happens. But I didn't know the extent of it, of who that player was, of how influential he was as a football player, and what the crime was that he was accused of.
Right.
And then obviously that trial and everything really shook out as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm younger than you are, obviously, but to me, I never, ever growing up thought of OJ as like a football player. Just to be real with you, like
Yeah.
it was always he was like a figure. Like a figure is the best way I can put it because I knew about obviously the stuff before the football, and like when you talk about the Bronco and all that stuff, my first introduction to that was Seinfeld. Do you remember?
Of course, yeah.
Because we watched Seinfeld. So like,
no, of course, is that Ray Caruth? I think what was the guy's. No, it was the guy from the golf course. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Ray Caruth. That's a different episode. But this episode, Kramer, and diehard Seinfeld fan, Kramer was playing golf with the guy.
Yes.
He was a stickler on the rules. The guy goes crazy, and
like I remember that being like a thing that I saw. Now, I didn't understand why they were doing it or what was happening. Like, my parents did, but I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So, like, even to this day, I very, very rarely think of OJ as, like, the football player because he just wasn't there. I'm playing Madden, and he's not really in it. Just to be that's, like, how I would know people that I just didn't see play. So, I never really thought of him as the football guy, to be real with you.
Yeah, and, you have Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, 1973 AP MVP, 1973 Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, the guy has his accolades, man. He's in the Hall of Fame for a reason. But obviously, especially with people in my age group, we think of OJ for the trial and how everything shook out there. And I think I doubt we see something like that ever again in terms of how everything went down with that. And what I mean by this is there was a point where O.J. Simpson and that trial and everything that took part was the biggest thing, and everybody was watching that. Now with social media and everything, you have news at your fingertips, but everyone's kind of doing their own little thing. We all kind of stick to our own little niches, right? That was so polarizing of a trial and just an outcome where I felt like the entire world, but the entire country was talking about that. And I may never see that again.
Yeah. And I think from, again, my point of view, it's it's a thing that happened that really my entire life has been, I do not know how to word this correctly, but the point is, I don't want to say made fun of, but the idea of it was more of you're always talking about it. How often are you talking about a situation as bad as that, right? And somebody's
for sure.
There's people that have done that to other people, but you don't really bring it up and talk about it. This is something that there's a book and there's a document, all this stuff. It was always there in the forefront.
Yeah,
and it was just weird to me because it's that's here and open, and you're seeing it that's what was talked about with OJ, a crime.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
No, without a doubt. No, without a doubt. But then, and once again, keep in mind, I'm not going to remember him as a football player because I don't remember him. I mean, his last year was 79. I wasn't even born yet.
Right.
So
I was negative 20. All right.
My lasting memories, I remember when he got Twitter, and and he was doing that whole thing.
Well, that's the thing. He became a character.
Yeah. And he almost embraced the polarization of why you were famous now.
That's what I'm trying to say but I obviously didn't say it well. But he became the guy. It's okay, an OJ video pops up.
You're accused of killing somebody and you're essentially I don't want to say you're playing along with it, but you're not you're still in the spotlight.
Yeah, you're playing the character that you probably shouldn't be playing. But also a video would come up, maybe at the golf course in Vegas or something. I'd be this is kind of funny, but I probably shouldn't be laughing at this because
it was just weird.
Yeah,
it's he plugged into the millennial fan base and tried to make that a thing.
Yeah,
and I always kind of felt weird about that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, I don't know. There's not much more to say about it. He passes away, a fantastic football player. Once again, a little before my time, but you can't deny. I mean, dude had a 2,000-yard season, Kasey, for Buffalo.
In 14 games.
Yeah.
In 14.
In 14 games. And
that's wild.
That's ridiculous. Now, not a lot. I mean, he had some catches as well, but obviously it was a different game back then. But you can't deny how great of a player he was. And I think that's an important thing to do too in terms of, this is what I do a lot with people that are under scrutiny. I can separate the person and I can separate what they accomplished before said thing.
Which is hard to do, by the way.
It's hard to do for a lot of people. I'll be the first one to say O.J. Simpson, fantastic football player. Great person? No, probably not. But a great football player. So, however you feel about it, we're just reporting on it. You know, I think a guy who probably does remember O.J. Simpson a little more is Brent Martineau because, you know, might be a little bit in the old category.
Brent, very old, yeah.
Part of the olds category, and that's the best segue that I can do, Mr. Martineau. But we do have a Brent Martineau exclusive here, I think, from the Masters. Hamby, you want to set it up a little bit?
Yeah, we got Brent and Stewart just sent us back this. They've been out there all morning long in the conditions, so here they are.
Welcome to a Thursday at Augusta National 2024 Masters, and it is underway, even though there was a little bit of a delay. Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber, here by the tournament practice range is what they say here, along with the patrons.
It's just the range.
Yeah, the patrons.
It's just the range.
Filing in.
Yeah.
We've got different terminology you're used to. They're also called fans in most places.
Yes.
But the Masters is underway. We had the ceremonial tee shot. Of course, Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson. That took place a little bit after 10 o'clock. So basically everything's set back about 2.5 hours. That includes Tiger Woods' tee time. He will not get his first round fully completed most likely this afternoon. Might have to finish up on Friday morning, and that could be the case for a lot of the field. But let's hit some of the big storylines. Weather we thought could be a big storyline today. I don't think it's as big as everybody thought. I mean, the weather has not been as bad overnight as a lot of people thought. It also went through quicker, so I think we're going to get to more golf and probably less affected weather golf earlier than anticipated.
Because I didn't see anything about any trees down.
Like last year.
Yeah, that was some big weather issues that they certainly had when that came through.
But remember though, the tree went down on Friday mostly because of the rain on Thursday. So we didn't get as much, so that's a good sign for no more trees coming down.
Yeah, that is a positive. But yeah, I mean, we were worried about it being one of those things where it's going to rain all the way till 1 o'clock, and here we are in the morning hours, and it's cloudy, yes, but we'll be able to get a lot of golf in here at Augusta today.
Listen, the one thing about this golf course, and I think a lot of the players talked about it today, or this week, it's obviously a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It also is a scoreable place at times where we've seen players get around here, make a lot of birdies. There's certainly that excitement. But the players reminded everyone, hey, this isn't an easy golf course. I mean, the question was, could you shoot 59? Tiger Woods was like, no way. Not from where they have it set anymore. In the back tees, Brooks Koepka didn't want that question at all.
Best answer. He retorted back to the media member, have you played here?
Yeah.
And having shot 130 here, I could say that, 159 doesn't, maybe for...
159 was in play.
I couldn't even do 59 for 9 holes. God forbid the whole 18.
But what I'm getting at here is you can maybe see a little bit of the wind behind us. Maybe you can't. But because of the hills here and the valleys, you get a lot of swirling winds, and that's what the players talk about a lot. We could feel it throughout the course, even on Wednesday. I said it to you. I was like, when you're in different spots, you can feel it more.
The wind differently,
and so you'll hear that mentioned on TV all weekend, and you'll see that, and the players kind of looking around. But it's a real deal thing, and I think it puts some doubt into the players' minds, and that's what kind of this sport is all about. You got to get by the mental side of it.
I wonder if this morning's rain maybe softens it up a little bit, allows them to go after some pins, where the greens here are diabolical. Some of them, you're in the wrong spot. You're really staring at a 3-putt, even for these professionals. So you got to think maybe a little moisture in the course could help with that. Maybe that's an advantage for these guys who had the early morning that ended up turning into a late morning tee time.
Diabolical guys. Austen, Kasey, Hamby. Yeah. Look it up. Diabolical. SAT word. 1400 SAT guy, not this guy. So let's move on to other headlines. How about Tiger Woods? 5 years after he won 2019. Yeah. It's interesting to watch Player and Watson and Nicklaus, because Tiger's not there yet. He someday will be.
Right.
But it feels like he's more there than he is maybe in 2019 winning the Masters at times. I mean, he just doesn't play a lot of golf. He's been a banged up guy. He's Humpty Dumpty in many respects. And we're asking him to go out here and put on a show. I mean, what's the reality that he does anything? This weekend, I think everybody's just saying, hey, can you make the cut? And we can watch you on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, I think a big part of it is in recent years with Tiger, you've noticed just how much more reflective he's been on his career. And that is something he would absolutely never do when he was in the prime of his career. So, I mean, he's starting to look back at some of the good times and enjoy them and think fondly of them. And that is a sign that you're getting closer and closer to that side of things, as opposed to being the one who wants to go out there and bash everyone's brains out and win by 10 10 strokes every single tournament.
We did see him on the range, though, and if you look at some of the metrics, I mean, I told you this morning, he's still carrying the driver 300 yards.
You mean the tournament practice range?
Tournament practice range, 300 yards. So, I mean, he's still got the speed, and anybody who plays with him says the swing's there, and he's hitting some really good shots. There's two major questions about Tiger. How's he physically getting around the golf course, and what's his competitive, I don't know, spirit, moxie, rust, whatever? Where is it? Because he just doesn't play a lot. And it's one thing to play your buddies down in Jupiter for probably like thousands and thousands of dollars.
In a golf cart, by the way.
Yeah, but it's a different thing when you're playing the world's best. And I think those are the two questions he's got to answer. To be honest with you, I think the body will hold up fine if the golf game's going okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the things that, always gets mentioned about the course is just the elevation, right? I mean, it's funny, you can't tell right now on this, but we're actually on elevation right now. You've got a shift here. But for Tiger Woods,
I'm actually leaning just to get on even level with Weber, just to let it.
I mean, you didn't have to say that.
I could down the hill more.
I mean, we could just do this. But
I like this.
Okay.
But you're right. There are a lot of hills here.
Yeah, there's a lot of hills, and for a guy who will have to play more than 18 holes on Friday, he's not going to finish his entire first round on Thursday. That becomes a cumbersome task.
Yeah, more holes coming up on Friday, but it might not be as bad as we thought. I thought could get 27 or even more holes. And that might not be the case. All right, let's move on. So we get back to these guys. How about Scotty Scheffler? Scheffler won the Players' Championship a few weeks ago. He's the most dominant player. He ruined
our storyline that no one's ever repeated at the Players. We can never say it again. That's one less thing we can say now.
And here's the deal: he almost won 3 tournaments in a row coming into this thing. He lost in a playoff a couple weeks back in Houston, I think it was. So. I mean, Scheffler's dominant right now. It's not Tiger Woods dominant, but it's drawn some comparisons to that. Is he going to blitz this course? His game is in fantastic shape. He's obviously already got a green jacket. He knows his way around. So, I mean, Scotty Scheffler is someone to watch, and I think he's a fascinating superstar in this sport. He doesn't almost take himself too seriously. He seems like a very normal guy. The last time, some of these dominant players in our sports world, they don't really seem normal. They seem more robotic. Yeah. That's not the case with Scheffler.
Yeah, we don't have Grandma Scheffler here, though, to walk the 18 like she does at...
She's maybe watching the show back in Jackson.
Yeah, there you go. A big Action Sports Jax 24/7 fan. It's from what I heard. I don't know. It's what they say. But yeah, for Scotty to do what he's done, it's hard enough to get to be the number one golfer in the world, but then to continue to show why you are that number one guy. And he's done that. He has kept that mantle and held on to it and played really good golf in the process with all that pressure on him, with all those eyes on him and what he's doing right now. So to say he's a favorite, he's certainly a favorite this week. But it's an interesting field, right? It's a smaller field, and you bring in some of these names that we haven't been talking about for many, many months. And that's one of the fun side stories here at Augusta.
Well, here's the deal. I just said the security guard. The one thing about Scheffler, he's a little bit of a different superstar, but he's also a little bit different out here. We live now in a golf world that's pretty cookie cutter. These guys are all built the same way. You don't have the walrus's big belly. You don't have these different shapes and sizes with John Daly. Even Tiger, when he first came on, he was a different shape, a different size. He had muscles like now everybody does. So it's a cookie cutter sport, and I think that hurts the sport sometimes. But I think Scheffler is built a little bit different by the way he swings the golf club, his feet, all that thing, that story, I think makes him a little bit unique. Speaking of Scheffler, he could go head-to-head here with last year's winner, Jon Rahm. It's the first time we've seen the LIV guys really, listen, they're out of sight, out of mind. I don't care what anybody says. You can have all your opinions about it. The bottom line is I followed some golf, but I haven't talked about or thought about Dustin Johnson. We saw Bryson DeChambeau yesterday, hardly recognized him because we hadn't seen him in so long. These LIV guys.
He's representing, what was it, Crushers, Team Crushers?
I guess, the Aces, Crushers, whatever. And there are almost, I think, 15 LIV players here, so we get to see this interaction between the PGA Tour and LIV players, and there are some star names from Phil Mickelson, who actually finished second here last year, obviously to Rahm, who's still one of the best players in the world, but can he come in here and deliver after winning the green jacket a year ago?
And how about Cam Smith? He lives locally in our area. Maybe you see him off Roscoe Road occasionally, but we never see him because
he fished the Northeast Wahoo shootout.
He did.
Northeast Florida Wahoo.
He had a leader for a moment.
He finished 7th, I think.
But I mean, when he made that move, he was one of the top golfers in the world. He'd won a major. He'd won the Players. He had done some pretty impressive stuff. and then we completely forgot about him.
Yeah.
And that's where we are right now. So maybe we go end up seeing some of these guys pop back up. And I mean, shoot, you look at the leaderboard from last year. It was packed with live guys at the top.
Yeah.
With Rahm, Mickelson, Koepka, Patrick Reed, all those guys at the top of the leaderboard that we just haven't seen forever. You would expect that those are some of the guys that will contend again this year at Augusta.
Yeah, I expect to see them there because there's the deal. They're really good.
Yeah, they're good at golf.
I mean,
yes.
they're really good. They are top heavy with some really, really good players.
Right.
Now, the rest of their roster in terms of what's at Live Golf is a little questionable or aging. But even Mickelson, one of those aging guys that wasn't going to compete every week, competed here.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, gives a little bit of Tiger fans hope that even when you don't have the game going or you're getting older, here at this place you can still maybe contend. And I think we've seen that over the years with guys like Bernard Longer and Fred Couples and many others over the years. All right, I got one more storyline, and here's my pick to win.
Okay.
It's Rory McIlroy.
Okay.
I think he's flying under the radar a bit. We saw him at the Players. He was making a bunch of birdies. Now, he also gave some back. His Sunday round in Texas was really good and sharp. I feel like this might be the time, and you could say it every year. Rory's good enough to win here every year. He's missing the career Grand Slam. It's obviously in his mind a little bit, but I think with all those other topics that we just mentioned, you get to Rory like 4th or 5th on your list, and that might be a great place for him to be this week.
Yeah, not the favorite, I think suits him. Just because he can go out there, play his game, and not have to worry about everything being said. I mean, as you mentioned, when you have 3 of the 4 majors, and the only one you're missing is this one, that's going to keep coming up. They're going to keep asking about it every single year, and you're going to have to address it at some point. The best way to address it, just go out there and win. Go do it. Go win the tournament, and then never have to answer that question again. Then they'll ask, when are you going to get your 2nd Grand Slam? But to go out there and do it. I mean, Rory, like you said, the game is going well right now. We'll see how he does here.
It is crazy to think that he hasn't won a Grand Slam in 10 years. Even Tiger said he's so talented, he's going to win it, and he is really talented. And he's had a lot of good golf in those times, including a Players' Championship win back in 2019. But he can't get the major, which is odd. And I think he sits better if he comes in a Sunday like 2 or 3 back, rather than an overnight leader on Saturday. So keep an eye on the Rory storyline, but it's definitely a storyline. A lot of different guys that can win this golf tournament. I'll give you another name that doesn't hit the top of the leaderboard very often anymore, and diabolical his game can be, but Jordan Spieth always plays well here. And I think he finished like in the top 5 last year here at Augusta. So that's some of the golf talk. My pick is Rory McIlroy. I don't know what you guys have picked. I don't know if you have a pick.
Victor Hovland.
Victor Hovland. Now that would be out of the book.
I like Victor
I'm not
Hovland.
even sure Victor Hovland's comfortable and confident in Victor Hovland right now.
He did well in the par 3 contest. So, why not? It's not going to be Ricky Fowler. That's the one we know. Because he won the par 3 contest. And you can't win both. There's a rule. It's in the rule book. It says you can't win both.
Hey, the big story since we've been up here, let's just to comment on it quick before we throw it back to Austen and Kasey and Jason here on a Thursday. Josh Allen, we watched the news conference, obviously, and I thought it was really cool. I think this is why we like Josh. Josh is very real. He's a genuine guy. I think he was at a loss for words at times. He even said he's rambling a little bit, but I think his overall message was really cool. And it was really about legacy. Legacy is important to him. It was important to him at Kentucky. It's important to him in Jacksonville. He's had his mentors like Tony Brackens, who a record he's chasing, Calais Campbell, another guy that he's been chasing. And I think he sees big picture. I think when you get big deals, you wonder how good the guy is going to be after he gets paid.
Right.
That's a big thing in free agency. That's why free agency over the years has been like hit or miss. That's a question franchises have and teams have, because you can really miss with all that money. I don't think that's a question around Josh Allen. I don't think he's motivated by money.
No.
I think he's motivated by bigger things. And if this guy stays healthy for the next few years, he's going to set that sack record. In his words, he's going to make it so out of reach that it's going to be really tough to catch.
I think the key is how do you replicate everything you did last offseason and last season, for that matter. It's going to be different playing in a different defense. Things will look a little different out there, but for him, you control what you can control, right? So in the offseason, how do you prepare your body and your mind exactly like you did last year? Now, you have to evolve constantly. That's certainly part of it, but it's kind of interesting. So he said in the press conference he was going to attend some of the opening OTAs, which he didn't do last year. So that's a little bit of a shift from what he did last year. Now, I think it's not a bad shift to go and join your teammates and show up in that locker room and be the leader that he is.
A new defensive coordinator, too.
And a new defensive coordinator. Certainly that helps. But, yeah, I'm expecting him to do a lot of the things he did last year as far as that training regiment goes. I mean, you talked about Calais. That was always the big story with Calais, is how much time and money he put into his body in the offseason and during the season as well to make sure that he was able to go out there and perform. And Josh certainly learned from Calais, and I'd imagine he learned that part of it too.
Well, Josh certainly has the time, and he now definitely has the money.
I mean, you go buy a cryo company. You don't even need a cryo chamber. Go buy the whole company if you want.
Good for Josh Allen. We'll continue to talk about that, how it impacts everything, as we're now 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. I will say this:
Tony Finau hit some bunker shots here behind us.
Yeah, that is Tony Finau. The contract, by the way, one other note on Josh, comes with the responsibility of being able to live up to that now, and he's going to have to prove that here in 2024. All right, Tony Finau, always one to watch here at Augusta, so you can watch him a little bit behind us right now, and then we will see what he does on the leaderboard over the next 4 days. That's going to do it from Augusta National. 2024 Masters is underway. We'll be at Best Bet St. Augustine coming up tomorrow on the Brent and Austen show, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. So hope to see you down there. Come join us for lunch and maybe watch a little bit of the Masters down there at Best Bet St. Augustine. For Stuart Weber, I'm Brent Martineau. We'll see you with all our TV coverage later tonight from Augusta on CBS 47 and Fox 30, guys.
Yeah, that was Brent and Stuart breaking down the Masters a little bit, a Masters masterclass, if you will, and also talking about, Josh Allen, what he needs to do, improving himself. Brent Martineau proving that you can wear 10 layers underneath a windbreaker and get away with it at Augusta.
Unbelievable.
I would have been toasty.
I mean, what
I
are
would
we
have been a
doing?
little sweaty.
That's terrible.
10 layers?
Because we're talking at least shirt, and then that jacket, whatever that was, on top of this very jacket.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen 7 layers burritos with less stuff than what Brent Martineau was rocking.
I mean, it's terrible when then you look at Stuart Weber, who's wearing just shirt and then jacket.
Hey, you guys find a common medium. Is what I would say.
Stuart's either freezing or Brent's warm.
Yeah. I love how someone said in the comments that Brent looked jacked up. That might have been what he was going for, And also, if you guys were really watching that 15-minute clip, a lot of khaki pants in the background.
A lot of khaki pants.
Khaki seems to be the official color.
I'm pretty sure it's like a serious dress code.
Okay, well, listen, I could break down dress codes all day, Case, but we got other things afoot here. Let's go to break real quick. We have a brand new Shock Your Mock song to introduce. We have 2 new mock drafts to break down, and obviously, we got to find a winner.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com or calling 904-902-4999. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Springs, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
I'm Action News Jack's First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beaton. While the sun is up and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Sometimes you just need a day to yourself. And Garrett's First Alert forecast makes sure you're ready to go out and enjoy. Garrett and the Action News Jax This Morning team helping you start your morning right.
Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
Community. That's who we serve.
It's the people. Yeah, it's the people.
Demanding answers. Because the truth matters.
When are you going to do the job?
Listening and getting help to those who need it.
I just appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
It's about telling stories from deep inside our neighborhoods, informing you, building connections, tracking storms.
Serious storm situation, the kind of which we rarely see.
Holding people accountable.
You were getting at the truth.
That's who we are. Action News Jax.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, featuring Kasey Kuhrts today, sitting in Brent's chair as Brent and Stuart Weber in Augusta, toughing the elements, 4 windbreakers and all.
The wind never stood a chance.
The wind never stood a chance.
Not with Brown Martin now.
I mean, we're talking Gore-Tex. We're talking nylon. We're talking, I don't know what other materials things can be made out of. Polyester?
Yeah, for sure.
A nice polyester blend.
Absolutely.
Maybe a little cotton coming at you.
Got to be some cotton.
Needless to say, there was no wind being broken at Augusta with Brent Martineau's fashion choices. You know what time it is, Kasey? We got about 30 minutes left in the show. It's been a staple the past couple of days, getting a lot of positive feedback. One thing, though, it's kind of hit or miss in the song, I feel like.
Yeah.
Some people are embracing it. Some people say, Austen, bring back the old stuff. I'll be honest with you, okay? I would love to bring back the old stuff, you know, the stuff that got us here in the first place. But maybe I sold out a little bit, all right? And maybe I spent $5 on an app, and you better believe I'm getting my money's worth.
You got to.
Got to. Can't justify spending $5 and not using the app.
You can't.
So we're going to use it. Now, did Jason Hamby waste one of my tokens that I had on the app because he put too many words in for the AI and it screwed the song up? Yeah, absolutely. He absolutely did.
Was I typing? Ooh. Was the phone in my hand?
Hamby told me to put, what was the phrase he told me to put?
Something very long.
Circumnavigate.
Nope, it was the shake one. from Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, it was quick area shake with some quick hitters.
So put in quick area shake with some quick hitters, and AI thought that was the city we're talking about. And the first words of the song was down in the area with the shake area, the quick. Nope. I was talking about Brian Thomas. Wasn't talking about where I was from. Jason Hamby's fault. But don't worry. I used another token. We're all good.
We're almost out, though.
We're almost out of tokens. So if you want to go to the Shock Your Mock token fund to get more of these bangers, please feel free to Venmo or PayPal. But until that time, enjoy this one. I believe this song, we haven't heard it yet, is in the style of children's music.
Oh, boy.
DJ Hamby, give it to us.
Austen and Kasey with a plan so bright, talking about the draft until the night. Duval's their home where whispers flock. Together they're ready to shock your mock.
That's pretty good.
I'm not mad at this one.
Ready to pick, hoping their choice will do the trick. In the sunshine bright and clear, trust in the team, feel the cheer. Goals are set, fans dream big, hoping for a dance, a winning jig. Duval's bright joy on the track, Austen and Kasey got their back.
I was solid.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. Can we submit that to like the Grammys or something? Like I don't know what to do now, guys. Because I feel like we have like a banger on our hands, and I don't know what to do now. This is what like Kanye West feels like in the studio. Because I feel like we actually just did something.
We cooked.
I feel like we have something here.
We just
That was like it made sense.
I mean,
use the words correctly.
Understandable. My name was pronounced right. Casey's name was pronounced right.
Oh my god.
I mean, Hamby, go ahead and put that one in the good pile, please. And I'm gonna Google later of how to actually like. I don't want to do the mock. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to do the mock draft. I want to go home and like.
That's pretty good.
I'm trying to.
We got something here.
I think we got something here. So, yeah, if anybody knows how to like contact the Grammys, I'd appreciate it. But until that time, let's do what we do best and let's go shock some mocks. Hamby, do we have the first one?
Yes, sir. Here we go.
All right.
And this is...
Do we have the name?
Yes, this belongs to Simon at Simon0108.
Simon 0108?
Yes.
Is he a bot himself or is this a real person?
Looks like that from the Twitter picture that this is a real person.
All right, cool. Let's break him down then. I like it. So, pick number 17. I'll be honest, Kasey, no trades, no circumnavigating what we have to do here.
Okay.
Just a straight up shock your mock. I'm not mad at this to get things started. I am a little disappointed, though, where he went first. Terrion Arnold, pick number 17, cornerback out of Alabama, 6 foot tall, 189, 31 and 5/8 reach, had the highest production score of all the corners and the third highest score when you combine athleticism. Your thoughts, Kasey?
Well, I mean, those are solid numbers.
Those are great numbers.
I understand how you feel about the position.
Yeah.
I still think it's a position that they need. Obviously, receiver would have been, something to see here, but I wouldn't hate it. I know some of you would. I wouldn't.
So here's what we're getting here with Terrion Arnold, and keep in mind, I mean, if you need a cornerback, this might be your guy. 4'5", 40, 37-inch vertical, 10'9" on the broad jump. NFL comparison, Marshawn Lattimore.
I'm liking that.
Calvin Ridley is praying that we don't get Terrion Arnold.
Probably.
Because we saw it happen against the Saints.
Yeah.
2 catches, whatever yards he had. I mean, this is a guy, and this is what scouts are saying, guy plays with an attitude in the best way possible. He's got this is me talking, by the way. He's got a whole kennel of dogs in him. Not just one, not just 2. He's got a whole kennel. Like, the guy plays with bad intentions. He's got that dog in him, and I like that on this defense. A scout said, actually, an NFL regional scout said, that Kool-Aid McKinstry is the more reliable and consistent compared to Terrion Arnold, but Arnold will eventually have the more of the pure cover talent. So obviously, you can go back and forth between Kool-Aid or Terrion Arnold. what I've been reading, I like Terranol a little better in terms of just the mentality that he brings to the cornerback position. Casey, you like this one?
I do. I'm
Okay.
a fan. I would not be upset by it.
Okay. Pick number 48, wide receiver out of South Carolina, guy we've been seeing a lot of now lately, Xavier Legette. Yep, Xavier Legette, 4'3", 10'6" broad jump, 40-inch vertical. Casey, your thoughts?
40-inch vertical?
Yeah.
6'3"?
Now, I told Brent this. Rumor is that Xavier put a dollar bill on the top of a backboard, jumped up, and made change with it.
Really?
No. But
Okay.
he's got pretty good vertical. What do you think about him, though?
I'm in. I think again, you can get a little bit of what you don't have. He's big. I don't know if he can play big in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
But eyes good, numbers good at South Carolina. It is South Carolina. Debo went there. I don't know if that means anything at all, but
Do we need to bring back the voice?
the voice.
The voice.
Xavier Legette's voice.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it?
Yep.
Yeah, hit me with it.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Whether you're taking a pitch or catching a short pass or catching a deep ball, what would you say are the best parts of your game that help you get into the end zone so often?
Oh, man, I'd say the deep ball, man. But I really feel like any way that I can get the ball in my hand, I can get it to that end zone.
Whether you're
That's real, bro.
That's what he sounds like?
Yeah, he's country, man.
He's going to get in.
Has
that end
anybody
zone.
in the history of the NFL sounded like a combination more of Forrest Gump and
Randy
Bubba?
Moss. No.
Well, and Bubba. Well, I was going to say Bubba but yeah, Randy Moss as well.
It does sound like Randy Moss.
Sounds like Bubba mixed with Forrest Gump. I'm all for it, man.
Sure.
Okay, does it do anything for you?
No, I mean,
Here's what I'm going to say with Xavier Legette. The route running, scouts have said, and this is a quote here.
Oh, boy.
It's a long-winded one. He uses his route running simply as a means of getting to the rendezvous point rather than a chance to con coverage out of position.
okay.
Uses his route running simply as a means of getting to the rendezvous point rather than a chance to con coverage out of position. I mean, once again,
I don't want to pick him because of that.
Really?
I don't know what it means, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, so basically what we're saying is this guy's a freak athlete, not necessarily the most polished of route runners, but maybe doesn't have to be. And I'll tell you right now, if the NFL ever has any more of these gimmick things like we have with the kickoff where, hey, is it a possession or not? You have to do a jump ball. I'm sending Xavier Legette.
That's a good call.
Every time. Pick number 96, Austen, great name, Booker. Edge out of Kansas, 6'4" and a half. 240 pounds, ran a 4.79, 32-inch vertical. Sorry, I almost said 40-inch vertical. 32-inch vertical for Austen Booker. Casey, your thoughts? At the edge, a spot that the could definitely use.
Yeah, according to Instagram, he has no profile picture, what has to make you wonder what's going on there.
Focused on football. It's the Pat Fryermuth effect. We've been over this, Casey. And how did Pat Fryermuth? Oh, we were all complaining. He doesn't post anything. It's always about football. Well, guess what, Pat Fryer? I mean, once again, you got Kenny Pickett throwing the football, but when a guy's throwing the football, you can catch it. Pat Fryermuth's pretty good. Anyway, sorry.
Also confirmed via Instagram, he has that dog in him because Kansas made a mock-up of dogs in his chest. Looks kind of like that. I don't know.
That's a whole kennel's worth of dogs.
Yeah, so you've got to feel good about that, plus the no profile picture, guys all football.
So I probably should have said this too as well. This could be a Trent Baalke blue light special because this guy is a freak of nature when it comes to his wingspan. He has super long arms, and it's talked about a lot with scouts. His NFL comparison, there it is.
Scared me.
Trent Baalke blue light special. Trent Baalke's got them hungry eyes. All right, so NFL comparison. Max Crosby.
Really?
Yes.
Also has that dog in him.
With Austen Booker, and this is the crazy thing that like I've read about him, and it's kind of crazy to see. He's already like coming from Kansas is extremely polished. You know, I mean, obviously Kansas is better now in football, but like scouts have said he can stride and dip at the top of the rush or beat tackles back inside with a Euro step, which I didn't know was even possible, or a spin counter. He can stab with his long arms in the pocket and stay separated from them at the point of attack, has length and speed to be a very special player. If this guy's here at 96, I'm not mad at that.
I'd agree.
So how you feeling so far about this?
I mean, those are the three positions, are they not?
Correct.
I mean,
being addressed.
I mean, you can go, whatever order you want to go there. But me personally, the way that this draft did it, I'm not mad at it.
So we got Dwayne Carter, 6'2", 302 out of Duke. Defensive tackle, ran a 4.99, just beat out that 5 flat. Just beat out that 5 flat. And to be fair, off of first appearances, this could be a Danny Almonte situation because the guy looks like he's 45 years old. Now, your thoughts?
So, first of all, you have to respect the name. D.E. Wayne. Yeah. There's a lot of people that have Dwayne, just D, like the letter D.
I like it.
Wayne.
I like it.
I have a friend, his name is D-U-A-N-E,
yes.
Dwayne. So the fact that we're going D.E. Wayne, you have to be a big proponent of, like it. Duke educated, 5 years, like it. And maybe most importantly, according to his Twitter bio, he's an entrepreneur.
Really?
Now, he hasn't been on Twitter since he was in high school, but he's an entrepreneur. So... listen, that's all I'm saying. You're getting a Duke-educated entrepreneur. You have to like it.
Took a 5-year break for the studies.
Who's putting entrepreneur out of high school?
He was ready.
Oh, dude, I'm quoting like all the rap lyrics to getting canceled 10 years later if I'm in high school with Twitter.
Bro just posted all the offers he got. He said, sign with Duke, entrepreneur.
Unbelievable.
Posted his huddle.
A little about this guy's playing ability. So,
I got no clue on that.
Well, I'll tell you right now. Scouts say this guy's salty. Okay, so not only is he an entrepreneur, he's also a salty one.
Okay.
One would say bull rush can be salty as all get out. I guess it's a pretty salty bull rush.
Sounds that way.
Yeah, and he may possess more talent eventually to be a good run stopper. So this is kind of crazy where usually you get a big body defensive tackle, and it's always the same, right? Where they're good in the run game, got to develop pass rush moves. Dwayne Carter, the entrepreneur, is going outside of that box and doing his old thing here. Hello, Sharks. I'm Dwayne Carter, and I can actually rush the passer pretty well. Run stopping, not so much.
Yep.
If you're Mark Cuban, are you buying the Dwayne Carter stock?
I'm buying the Dwayne Carter stock at 114.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Brandon Coleman, 6'4", 313 pounds, offensive guard out of TCU. Initial thoughts?
Again, position that you at least need some depth at. I mean, you're probably not getting a starter at that spot, but again, another position that I think you need to address, being addressed. TCU, not so great last year. Year before, pretty good. So, big enough to play guard, I think, so I'm with it.
34 5/8 inch arms. Now, unless his spine and upper back are a toothpick, this guy has like a Giannis Antetokounmpo type of reach.
Really?
That's going to be a Trent Baalke-Beloit special. That's going to be a Trent Baalke-Beloit special.
It's gone.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
We got him.
I wasn't prepared for one on Coleman.
Hey, man, yeah, get ready. Trent Baalke is absolutely salivating at this guy. 6'4", 313 as a guard and has the long arms. This is Trent Baalke's type of guy right here. He's got them hungry eyes. By the way, Kasey, that's a song that your mom and dad probably listened to when they were growing up.
I'll check in on that.
Yeah, check in on it. Ran a 4.99 offensive guard, doesn't really matter. 34-inch vertical. Has a lot of actually tackle experience, and then they moved him down to guard, so he's got pretty good footwork and is pass action ready. Could be a little bit of an issue in the run game, but from a pass protection standpoint, is one of the higher-ranked guys here in the draft. Next pick 153. We've had this guy before. Luke McCaffrey, or as I like to call him.
Not again.
As I like to call him. The Michelle Williams of the McCaffrey family. Now, Austin, who is Michelle Williams? Well, there was a band or a group called Destiny's Child that featured the one and only Beyonce. And then there was a girl with short hair who had a song with Nelly called Kelly Rowland. Then there's Michelle Williams. Who I think did Dancing with the Stars, not maybe, or did like The Masked Singer?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I think so. Yeah, that's tough.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to tell you? All right?
No, you're right.
The scouts have said it all. He's not as big as his dad, and he's not as fast as his brother. But Kasey, what does he have? Soft hands.
Soft hands, that's right.
Soft hands. So Luke McCaffrey ran a 4.46. That's still pretty fast, all things considered. 36-inch vertical, 6'2", 198 out of Rice. Listen, focus drops do not exist in this guy's dojo. Still probably my favorite quote from any NFL scout. One more time. Focus drops do not exist in this guy's dojo. This is probably going to be a slot wide receiver here, though. Once again, at 153, if he falls down, why not? Take a chance on him. He's fearless into the teeth of the defense and excels at combat catches. So you're getting that Rambo with soft hands. Not sure if that goes together or not, but nevertheless, hey, do what you got to do. Hunter, not even going to try to pronounce that. Hamby, Kids Corner, what do you got for us for pick number 212?
Nauerzad.
Wow.
Hunter, wow. Not bad. Hunter Nauerzad, OC. Maybe they're going to replace Press Taylor, but I assume this is going to be offensive center. Just kidding, everybody. Obviously, for depth purposes here, a guy you can eventually develop. And then pick 236 is Dominique Hampton out of Washington. Kasey, what are your initial thoughts here as we go quick to the second mock draft?
This dude, Nauerzad?
Yes.
How was it, Hamby?
Nauerzad, I guess.
Nauerzad.
Genius.
Really?
I think.
I feel like most centers got to be geniuses.
Well, I'm just, again, looking at his Instagram bio. It says Cornell Engineering in 22.
Okay.
And then he transferred to Penn State. So
Yep.
I imagine to go to Cornell, one, you have to be smart.
Yeah.
And then engineering, again, feels like something that's got to be smart.
Okay, so it's interesting. So he goes to Cornell.
Played football.
Has the brains.
Yes.
Then he goes to Penn State. And then what happens after that? Nothing really? Was it more about football? Because this is the Pat Frymuth effect. Remember Pat Frymuth from Penn State?
Yeah, he just, played football.
There it is.
He was a certified
I like
problem.
It. Brains, but then certified problem at the football level. Okay.
Also 6 years of college for Hunter. 6. But grown man. Getting a grown man. You don't have to worry about 3 years. You're getting like a 21-year-old. Now you got a grown man who's an engineer from Cornell. So
dude's getting his ARP card pretty soon.
You got to feel good about it.
Keep track of it. Okay, so your initial thoughts on this draft quick before we go to the second one.
I think you hit all the positions of need.
Yes.
Again, Dwayne Carter, big win because of the name. You got to feel good about it.
Okay, cool. Hamby, forget the break. The song was so good. We're going right into the second one right away. Oh, let's get it. All right. Pick number 17. A guy who's becoming very famous on this show. A guy who tried to rewrite the AI for, and unfortunately didn't work so well. But Brian Thomas, 6'3", 209, 79, 79 what? I have 79 written down. What do you think the 79 would be?
I have no idea.
Okay, so 79
wingspan
is 79. Which, when you think about it, now see, I actually did the research on this guy with his wingspan because I got so sick and tired of arm length. I want to know exactly how long his wingspan was.
Mm-hmm.
In case to put in perspective, I'm pretty long. I haven't beat by like 1 inch. So this is a good indicator of how long his wingspan is.
I like that.
Now, ran a 4.33, 38.5 inch vertical. And on the bench press, well, who really cares because you're a wide receiver?
Agreed
Didn't do
with
it.
that. Yep.
What do you think about Brian Thomas Jr.?
Just get me to the line.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Again, I think you'd rather go veteran guy, but if you don't get your guy, then I'm with it if he's there.
Okay, Bleacher Report gave this guy an comparison of Martavius Bryant. Your thoughts about that?
Not good.
I mean,
guy was a great player until off the field stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're taking him number 17, Hamby. I need better than Martavius Bryant.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna not be happy with that at all.
He had a touchdown every 4 catches, which is
Much better.
ridiculous.
Yep.
But he may lack a little physicality in terms of run blocking. Not sure how the Jaguars would feel about that. And he still needs to polish on his route running, as he cannot run the entire route tree quite yet. I really want to see this route tree. What is there, like 8 different routes?
9.
9? You know that for a fact, Hamby?
That's what normally is referred to as the route tree.
Okay. Yeah, you got the in, the out, the flags, the posts, the flies.
Sticks.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. Hamby, you check out. The best thing about this guy, though, Kasey,
Here it is.
and you may not know about this yet, but it's taken the entire city of Jacksonville by storm, and maybe the nation one day. Scouts have said, you ready for this one?
Sure.
Let me stretch out for this. He's got a short area shake for some quick hitters.
Okay.
What did
that didn't do it for you, bro?
Thoughts? You're not impressed?
Casey.
I'm as impressed as I can be.
Not impressed with some short area shakes and quick hitters?
Yeah, give him one more time.
Give it one more time.
Short area shake with some quick hitters.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
I don't think Casey's impressed.
Yeah.
I think Kasey wants neighbors, and hey, don't we all? Pick number 48, Max Melton. Had him on the show before here. On the show, I mean, we mock drafted him before. 5'11", 187, 4'3", just missed out on that 4'4", so yeah, you got around a 4'3", you can say. 40.5-inch vertical, 11.4 on the broad jump. Casey, your initial thoughts?
A little short, but again, ball hawk at Rutgers.
Yes.
What does that mean? Not really sure, but he's gotten a few of them at Rutgers. Size, concern, can he play on the outside? Yet to be seen, but again, I think a position of need.
So here's the wild thing about Max Melton. Yesterday, I believe we had him, and we said how can't probably play on the outside, is going to be a later guy, you're taking him too high.
Yes.
And then I read another website, I'm not going to give people credit, like who was right, who was Bleacher Report, and they said that this guy can dominate in press coverage, and that's when he's at his best, and he has the size and agility to be a day one starter. So not really sure.
We got scout beef.
We got scout beef going on here. Oh, by the way, scouts said with this guy, we talked about this yesterday a little bit. When playing with his eyes forward from zone and searching for clues to jump in and make plays on football, Max Melton plays at his best.
Right.
Jankies, you know how we feel about it.
Scooby-Doo.
He's a member of the Scooby-Doo crew, if you will. I don't know about that. I mean, all things considered.
What were they called?
They were on the Mystery Machine, but I can't remember what the crew was called.
Yeah.
By the way,
he's just in the Mystery Machine.
Looking back on it, a very eclectic group of people in that Mystery Machine.
Ain't it?
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And a talking dog.
Next pick, Mason Smith, 96, defensive tackle, LSU. We got two LSU guys going here. Mason Smith. Not the same Mason Smith as the punter from Averett College, which I figured out. Made that mistake this morning.
Gotcha.
This Mason has two things that you like. He's got two A's in his name, the Aaron Rodgers effect, if you will.
You have to feel good about that.
Got to feel good about that, so he could be destined for greatness. And also, 6'5", 306 pounds, and he's got those Trent Baalke blue light special hungry eye arms of 38 inches.
Third thing you have to like, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, suspended one game for improper benefits. Don't know what that means at LSU. but they wanted him there real bad, and it is what it is.
So this guy was a national top 20 prospect for LSU. Didn't obviously live up to the expectations. This is a guy that you bring in and you hope to develop him. Now, it hasn't worked done well before. Taven Brown, Fowler, Kayvon Chason, but you hope this guy can make a difference. We'll speed up a little bit more. We're running out of time here. Blake Fisher, 6'6", out of Notre Dame, offensive tackle.
Had him.
We've had him before. Became the first true freshman to ever start at left tackle for Notre Dame. That must have went so well because they moved him to right tackle eventually. He's a capable climber and puller and as a move blocker, but oh, what is this? The chickens have come to roost. The cows are in the pasture because scouts have said often late out of his stance, the last one, putting him behind when he's trying to do his chores.
That's right.
Take that for how you want. Pick number 116, Andrew Phillips, 5'10", 191, 31 1/8-inch arms, 4'8", 42-inch vertical. Case, quick thoughts?
The fact that his name is DRU and not DREW makes me want him on the team.
So I like that a lot. This guy specializes in zone coverage, and this is confirmed by two websites, so we know this for a fact. May not fit in the Jaguar scheme per se. He's got a quick pounce, according to scouts, and he plays the run game like he's not afraid to hit people.
Good.
We have Calipari effect coming up, pick 153 here. We are going to Bo Limmer. Bo Limmer, anything Casey on Bo Limmer. He's 6'5", 302, 5'2", 40, and a 36-inch vertical. Are guards just getting bigger these days?
It feels like it. You have to feel good about this guy because the millisecond that NIL started, this guy was laying on a bed at Fayetteville Mattress Firm and locked up an NIL deal with mattresses. So you have to feel good about that. A little bit of an entrepreneur as well. Big fella can play guard him with it.
Call him the Sue Pig Savant, getting that Mattress Firm money. Pick number 212, we're going with Eric Watts, 6'6", 274. Ran a 4.67 in the 40-yard dash, coming from the edge. Size, speed, has all the potential in the world, but two things count against this guy. Lack of production and his pad level's way too high. Your thoughts?
The third thing against him is he plays at UConn. It's a basketball school.
That's a good point. And listen, if you're that big and that athletic, they should have been recruiting you for basketball.
Yeah. So I'm out on UConn football players.
Okay. And then we got Logan Lee rounding up, obviously, a depth pick at 236 for a defensive tackle. All right, Casey, before we got to head out here.
Do want to shout out, this was Robert Astertz.
There we go.
He's very active in the chat, avid listener.
There we go.
Shout out, Robert.
I wasn't mad at this. I mean, all things considered, there are some things to like out of this one. But Casey, let's go to you first.
Yeah, as much as I would like to get Mattress Firm in there, I'm gonna have to go to the other one. I think the corner, I like the position.
You addressed a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
You might have 3 starters in the other one in your first 3.
No.
Here's the other one.
Because you potentially your starter on the outside.
Correct.
Potentially a starter.
Yeah.
And that one's a little tougher.
But seriously, this guy's a
like
super sleeper. I do like that guy a lot. Hand me one more time the other mock draft, please.
And then D-Wayne. You got to feel good about D-Wayne.
I feel about
He's an entrepreneur.
D-Wayne.
But Mattress Firm.
Mattress Firm. I mean, we're late for our chores here with Blake Fisher, too.
Yeah, I mean,
Mason Smith.
Can't get the quarterback hurt.
I mean, you know what? Casey, you're taking the second one, right? I'm taking the first one.
First one.
To make things interesting, because I do like Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence. Ooh. I'm helping you out here.
Well, you're also going to get him hurt.
Well, and then Max Melton as well. Give me the first one. So for the first time in Shock Your Mock history,
oh boy,
let's go to the kids' corner to close out the show. The deciding vote. Kids' corner. Jason Hamby. Who are you going with?
The one that I am taking.
Probably got paid for this too, by the way.
No, no payments involved.
Okay.
As much as I love,
check the Venmo.
No under the table.
As much as I love, just got to get the ball in my hands. I can get into that end zone.
Oh.
Come on.
I'm taking Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round.
Let's go. Sorry, Casey. Thanks for coming by. It's great to have you on the show the past couple days. Sorry, man.
Cool. So we've got Trevor Lawrence hurt. This dude cheated at LSU. This guy tiny, but we got Brian Thomas.
Hey,
cool.
Sometimes you got to crack some eggs to make an omelet.
You're taking a guy from UConn in football.
Casey, he's 6'7" or 6'6".
212. I'm not that worried about it.
Then go grab boards somewhere.
Hey,
we don't need you.
We got Bo Limler coming in, gonna take care of things. Offensive coordinator, gonna do his thing out at the OC. We're all good. Congratulations, Hamby. Who was the winner of this one again? Roberts.
Yes.
Congratulations, man. You're on to the next round.
Unbelievable.
It was a nail biter. Came down to Hamby. You'd have it no other way. The world in his hands, and I'm proud of him.
Mac Jones going to be throwing Brian Thomas the ball because Buddy's late on his chores. What are we doing? Man.
For Kasey Kuhrts, Jason Hamby, I'm Austen Lane. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that master class of the Masters. Go watch some golf or wrestling if you prefer. Thanks for hanging out with us. Well, we will be at Best Bet tomorrow in St. Augustine. Come say what's up. Casey, no one's drinking Prime.
Okay.
Besides the kids, and I don't know how many kids are watching this right now in school, but it is what it is. Hey, Logan Paul, cut the check to Casey.
Cut the check!
I'm Austen Lane. Stay casual. Stay safe. We'll see y'all later.